Hello and welcome to a very busy evening at the Architectural Review Board. Today's Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. We have a huge agenda tonight, so we are going to try to be as precise and tied up as possible. We have one item that's from our July meeting, one old agenda item, which is Ralph's Bakery at 346 Heights Road. We're going to start with that.
Awesome.
Great, guys.
Rather not. Hello, guys.
This is ARB 25, 2025. Hi, guys.
How's everyone today?
So introduce yourself and your relation to the business and what you do.
Awesome. So this is my mother and I here. We own Rafael. Rafael's my dad. Her husband here. We're a little family operation. I've got my two younger brothers that work here as well.
What are your names?
Kellyanne. Sorry, I should have started with that. So my mom Charlotte here. We have grandma as well.
Kellyanne.
Kellyanne.
Elian.
Last name?
Dekecker. Very complicated. Dequeuer. So, we're a classic French bakery here. Our brand, sorry, our brand is definitely very orange here. We're going to be right here at Heights Crossing. These are the signs that we had brought up. I just want to show you the last page here.
You want to give some background just so the ARB knows. Previously in July, we approved a cutout
So you
agenda
approved a cutout of just these letters, right?
of the letters. They would be in orange, applied
Just
directly.
orange, no background.
Yes,
And
that's right.
then you decided like a little background would be better.
Yep.
So it would have been orange on a white background.
Yep.
And we felt like, because the building is enclosed, so imagine this space from the street, we're right here. So if you're from anywhere in the street, you can see us. The only way you're gonna see us is when you pass through Heights Crossing, right here. There's about like 20 feet where you're gonna see us right
So you want more increased visibility.
So,
Okay, got it.
because there is no visibility.
The older
anymore.
design is on the screen right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So that was, and we felt like it would be like washed out a little bit too much. So that's why we went back to the drawing board and figured if we could do that, that would be great. So orange background. I know everyone thought like the orange was a little aggressive.
Yeah, we just
but
need to
this
see it in
is-
person.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
really like our branding. It's not something we came up and decided, oh, we want orange so that people can see us. Like if you go in Greenwich and you see an orange cup, you know it's Rafael's Bakery. So for us, it's kind of important. Our apron is orange. And I know there was a little discussion about that looks like a little bum. So
Bunny ears.
bunny ears. So what if we do that square instead of getting round? So around, the little baguettes are really our branding as well. Like you will see on the hat right here, you have a baguette, you'll see on the E, that's our branding.
It's a cool
as
idea.
well. It's a great idea. So we feel like on the sign, if we don't have that, we kind of lose our identity. So if either we can do that square, this way there is no round and there is no misinterpretation, or just extend the orange up to here and just do the orange like we just
I think you'd lose the baguettes then, if you extended it.
Yeah.
Because they're not, they're not. like
They're
the rolls.
a little
Yeah,
subdued, so
I would not.
I would do like maybe like the square instead of rounded. And the orange was very important for us because it really is our corporate brand, and when people, I mean, I have an orange watch.
One of the questions that was asked was to bring a choice of real-life oranges because it was hard to tell on the computer. So whichever one you still like and which the board
So
would be
obviously our favorite art would be this one, but we would be open to all this. This one is a little of, I mean, of brands. So any of those three would work perfectly with us.
Definitely preference for the top one, but we'll take anything.
I like it, it's branding, it's tucked in corner, I mean, I think it's fantastic, it's a good sign.
Thank you.
All right, favorable report. So support for the 16 Pantone 16364, support for squaring off the baguettes at the top, size, everything else looks great. Location on the building. Awesome. Thank you for coming back. We're sorry
Thanks so
to
much
wait
for
for
hearing
you.
us out.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Joel,
listening
we
to us.
appreciate your time.
Very excited.
I so very
We'll
much,
be there all the
exciting to
time.
bring you some cookies.
Yeah, it's good.
Next time I'll bring croissants.
Three baguettes for
Thank you so much, guys. We're so excited to be in Darien.
Great. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much, guys.
Next up, we're going to new business. Is ARB number 2625 for longevity.
Oh, that's me.
Beautiful.
Thank
Um,
you for supporting.
You don't have any toys for us? Can you bring food?
Literally nothing.
This is at 883 Boston Post Road.
Yes.
Look, so you know what you could do for a little space? Can you pop up behind the,
Sure.
make you feel like you're at the podium, make you feel like you're back in high school again, giving a speech. Thank you. So introduce yourself and what your relation is to the business and what you'd like to do.
Sure. I'm Sarah Lacaruba. I am the physician founder of the business, and we are slated to open at 883 Boston Post Road shortly.
And as Faye pulls up your record, what are you proposing?
A peach colored sign.
Okay. Your specialty is the fitness, not the signage.
I'm like, I don't have anything other than my files.
It's okay, we review everything in advance, so it's okay.
Yes, so this
That's it,
is
right?
a mock-up.
Yeah.
There should be three different, yes, so there's three different signs. This is in the back parking lot. Do you guys know where this is? It's
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
next to Marvita.
Thank you.
Sure, and then two in the front.
The main sign and this sign, and then there's another document that has the dimension,
There should be a document with dimensions.
There was,
Not
there
with
is.
the one that's under colored ones.
Perfect.
I had a couple of questions. So are these individual letters that are cut out and then just adhered to the board, or are they pin mounted? What is the material?
I think the material's going to be wood. I think they're going to be
Oh, it's wood, yes,
connected.
wood.
I have not ordered it yet because I didn't know
Okay.
what to do.
So you don't know how it's gonna be applied?
How it's going to be applied, no.
Onto the building,
Say that again?
on the building.
Oh,
So,
right.
you don't know.
But you don't know if it's gonna be like on pins?
We can look at the cloud 10 really quickly. It can be adhered snap onto the board, or it can be pin mounted like
See
that,
right
so
behind you?
it kind
How
of
it's-
floats off the fascia of the board a little bit. So,
I would imagine.
I think we just say which we.
Can we give a preference? Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I.
So,
I've never
pin
done this
mount,
before.
pin mount.
Pin mounted, so it stays on.
Is this pin mounted?
This
That one is.
Yep.
So I'm gonna put in our letter to pin mount.
so it's gotta be funny with the.
So right now it says it's half an inch thick, and my question would be, is the thickness painted black, or is this just a shadow?
No, it's all peach.
It's all pink, peach, so this would be the shadow.
That's just a shadow.
Okay, just making sure. So it would read pretty well for
Is
this.
there any way I could just do it? Why do we prefer this versus this?
It just is more sophisticated, looks better, but,
Some depth on the building as well.
It
But-
floats more.
what about like a thicker wood and then flat
I
mounted?
think you want it pin mounted, it's not usually a big deal.
Okay.
It's not like a tradition,
Got it.
it's just, it's gonna make your sign look better.
I'm still working on that.
Okay.
They might also have some recommendations based on like, what the condition of that facade band is. but
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's.
pin
So this
mounted
would be
is
pin mounted directly to the fascia board? Not, you're not gonna pin mount it to a board and the board is mounted to the fascia?
Okay.
Dave,
That's a question, but I suppose it's a recommendation too.
Yeah, it's a recommendation.
I don't think Sarah knows what the facial board is.
I don't,
It's just-
I am
It's
not.
right on the building.
Yes, I understand, yes. I can certainly do that.
Dave, I didn't hear what your
I'm not a
question
sign
was.
maker, unfortunately.
Is there a plan to paint the back of that to
Yes.
freshen it up? Okay.
Yes.
There's a lot of sign makers we work with, but if you let them know, like whoever you work with, there's guys in town, so
I've
The-
been communicating with Kevin, I don't know if he's.
fantastic. He'll be here tonight, actually, you'll probably run him on the way out. But if you use him, let him know the board requested doing pin mounted letters in this case.
Okay.
But you're worried about the accent ague?
Yeah, I'm worried about the accent, and then I'm also worried if that fascia is soft or
Oh.
in poor quality.
It looks,
It might, the pins might be difficult.
It's a little cheesy.
mhm.
Let's put a recommendation, if Kevin has issues, then he can follow up with us and we can discuss administratively.
Yeah.
That sound good?
I like the color, I like the size.
I liked Harvey's suggestion though about doing the depth of the letter being black, because it really made the or
I'll bring
if,
it out.
if it made it bounce a little bit. Like versus, like if you're on a white sign, you've got a peach background, the way that he's made it makes it look like that, the thickness of the letters actually, like, even if it was a darker pink or like a black, it would make that letter pop a lot more.
Or even
Okay.
a gray, or even a gray.
Gray, yeah, something,
Match the
something,
house.
something to make it, yeah, the gray to match the house would be perfect, like, but just something that will make your letter pop.
Okay, perfect.
On the sides of the letter.
Correct,
Yeah.
the thickness.
Makes it look more 3D.
And the size is okay?
Size is okay. Is that the same size to the back? Everybody, can you double check?
Just
Can you go back to the bottom? Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's a
Well,
little
the
smaller,
back is
yeah.
smaller and the fascia is less, is even less happy in terms of maintenance.
The landlord said they would be painting it prior to installation.
Right.
Right. They may have to, over here, there's like a joint,
Yeah.
and I think they're gonna have to like paint and spackle or something to make it more
Okay,
uniform.
yeah.
But that's, yeah, so your sign would look better if it's on the front. And then the blade. 2 by, well, more than 2.
Almost 3 feet.
Almost 6.
That's bigger than when we first looked at it.
That's not too big.
Those letters, in my mind, like that board, like those letters should pop or recess or do something, like it looks like it's just applied, like it's, so that looks super flat. Like either the letters should be recessed or be stand out a little.
Or you can do the trompe-l'oeil trick of the eye of, drawing perspective of thickness kind of.
Yeah, I think it just needs a little bit something, because those letters look beautiful, like, right, like they stand out, your sign looks flat.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I see a lot of white on the sign as well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't
Maybe
need
it's-
to be
maybe-
24
right.
inches
Maybe it's 18.
long. Maybe you can shrink it up because it just make your letters stand out more that way as well.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm very open to anything.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, so let me summarize, sorry, so for the blade sign, we're shrinking the size of it off like 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches?
6.
Can we give an exact, can we help Sarah give her an exact size maybe?
18.
18 by 34? Okay,
34 is a lot. And you have these things
The prior sign, we only did this because this is the size of the check body mine sign that I literally have in my office.
so it fits with, it's the same as
It's the
check
same,
body?
it's the
Okay,
same
okay,
size, so
okay, I'm glad you have that reference.
that's, and the arm is from their sign,
Their sign.
so.
All right.
If you could keep it this size, I would just appreciate it, but.
Well, I think it can be,
Okay.
it could be that 34 and have that same, it just cut because it was checked by mind, it was like three lines, right? Like yours is 1 line, so like just bring it up some, so that it will, your sign, like the longevity pops more than the white background.
That was info, so 34 by 18.
Yep.
And then and we're doing applied letters on this as well?
Either applied or recessed.
Okay,
Give some dimension.
Yeah, something
That
different.
sign kind of lines up with this column.
She was hoping to use
It's
the
hard to
same
tell,
size.
I think the
again.
column is here. See the bottom of the plate, right? I see the little piece of trim here from this column. I'm sorry that it's not very big, but you can see it on this sign, it's like here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the back, all right, if you look at the back, see the door? Probably is not very high. This is probably not very high. So if it's only gonna help to have your sign be smaller, because it can make it higher from the grade, from the sidewalk. Right now, it looks to me like maybe that sign was there, and it's probably a little low, but it's only gonna help for the street.
Okay.
Okay, so I have one other question too. Are you doing anything with those gooseneck lamps? You keeping them? Are you rearranging them to focus more on the sign?
Yeah, I'm
Repositioning?
working with the landlord to figure out the situation.
Okay. I would put in the letter, lighting cannot be changed if, I think this board would be open, amendable to other lighting sources, maybe? But if you do change it, you have to come back to the board.
Meaning,
The lights.
if you take away the gooseneck and wanna put a different type of lighting source up there, you have to come back here.
What if the one on the right is broken? Because I'm
If you-
worried
if
that
you're
it's-
removing-
Can we just replace it with the same thing?
Yeah, repair
Oh,
in
yes,
kind.
replacing
Okay.
kind, yep.
Okay. No, I think we'll keep it like that.
And you will power wash, the landlord is gonna power wash and paint.
Allegedly.
Okay, I'll put
I
that
don't know if
in here.
anyone knows any of the landlords in this, or Nancy, whatever her name is.
I don't
She's very
know.
difficult.
We will
She
put,
doesn't want to do anything for me, nor does her
uh,
manager, but I am working on it.
I'll put that in the letter, cause it's an
Yeah.
important aspect
Yeah.
of updating this site.
Yes.
Okay, all these details will be in your letter to go, talked about like the depth of your wall signs, pin mounting them, the front and the back, putting, some recessing or adding a layer to your
Are you
blade
doing-
sign,
Are
shrinking
you
it.
doing a letter or an administrative certificate?
I can do a letter. What other changes are there?
Pin mounted, the edge, the size of the blade. I don't know, it's up to you.
Okay.
If you want to do it in a letter and then we say, has to be reflected in the building permit, that's one way to do it.
Okay,
Just makes it a little,
let Hervé and I will steal in this a second, after, let us think about it, what's the easiest way to get this done for you?
Right, because I'm so close to getting the CO.
Okay,
I don't want it to delay that, if you understand.
I don't think it would delay your CO because that's the guy you're talking to anyways, but, but,
I'm not gonna delay your CO.
but to your point, to be
Do you know
approved-
Mike Vitti? He doesn't really like to answer his cell phone.
We gotta stay on point, I gotta keep, so, but, you can talk to Hervé, you can call him, or planning and zoning later about that, but we will get you a letter, you need to get us a sign guy though, because in order for this to be approved, we would need new PDFs of that. So,
We need a little bit more
Find out who-
specification on how it's gonna be made.
so the quicker you can get, if you can get us that in the next couple of days, we can get you a letter and you can move.
Okay.
Okay. Sound cool? If you have questions, call Hervé. He's very collaborative. Okay.
Send me your
That's exciting.
Here all the
All
time.
right, yes, I'm probably going to use it.
Do you have any questions? Are you sure before you leave?
I don't, I mean, I'm kind of sad that I can't keep the sign the same size, but if that's a major issue,
The blade sign?
yeah, I mean, it's I'm not devastated.
It's the same length, we're just asking to reduce the height.
Okay.
So you just get less white space in the back and make your logo, the peach, pop.
I just like the light, but if that's the consensus.
Yes, board. Yes.
Yes.
Don't, yeah, no,
That is a
do a mock-up,
consensus.
and if for whatever reason you decide that you don't like the mock-up, then go back to the process.
That's a consensus. Okay. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, good luck, Sarah. Next up, we've got ARB 30/2025. This is for signature cycles at 116 Heights Road, 116 Heights Road. Hi, welcome.
I have a couple of new drawings, Hervey,
Yeah,
based on our call yesterday.
see that USB port there? Can't reach it.
I'll just introduce myself, you know.
Yes, could you please? That'd be great.
Sure. My name is Diana Juarez, I'm a studio architecture.
Wait, I lost it.
Sorry, Diana,
Where's
can
the
you tell
USB
me your
drive?
last
Diana Juarez, Juarez. Studio architecture. We're the applicant.
Where did the USB port
And then-
Sorry, did you get a last name spelling there?
Yep.
Okay. And you're with,
I'm a studio architecture,
Okay.
the applicant, but we're representing Signature Cycles. They're gonna be moving into this space.
who is Rafael? and-
He's the principal of.
Okay, okay.
There's a USB drive right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it, don't you worry.
You can press, sorry, there's a couple, that,
Couple.
the,
Signature recycle drawing, permit drawing 9-4. Or additional context photo 916. Which one do you? 916, you can do a decal.
we can do that one,
This one?
yeah. And then the awning rendering, is new as well.
Okay.
So this is at, in Darien Commons next to,
It's next to
however, the,
Van Heuven or Van
Van
Heuven,
Leeuwen's?
and then Warby Parker in that same strip.
okay, got it.
Yeah. So we have a couple of additional photos as well.
Is that okay, Ray?
It's not easy to manipulate here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give up for a little bit.
You can go to the original PDFs that we have on the
so I
permit,
think that would be easier.
on the application, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll keep those around
Sure.
just in case.
So, are you guys all familiar with this? Can we keep
Yes.
going?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So
keep-
as part of the proposed move-in, we're doing some exterior changes, so including a couple of signs, so we have one wall sign, a blade sign, and then 5 window decal signs. And then some architectural elements as well, 2 new white light sconces on either side of the entry, and then 2 new fabric awnings on top of the storefront bays, and repaint of the existing facade material, which I think is like an anodized metal in some sort of light bronze color. It kind of changes during the day because of how the sun hits it, so sometimes it looks a little bit green, sometimes it looks darker. But we want to paint it black to keep it uniform throughout the day.
So, I have some comments. I actually like the vibe of the composition of all the elements, and at the addition of the awnings and the sconces that you're adding on either side of that sort of center piece. The one question I have for this group is, we went through an extensive review of all the different storefront options for the complex.
Okay.
And we agreed to, I think, 3 sort of major kind of opportunities, and black wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
So I feel that I don't think you need to paint the storefront black. I think the anodized bronze isn't a bad mix to what you're proposing.
Okay.
But that's just that's a personal opinion. But I think you start painting anodized aluminum, you're getting into a world of hurt in terms of operations.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I was the landlord, I don't know if I'd be up for that.
We have talked with Andres, he's a property manager there, and with Federal, and
Yeah.
he's been open to that change, but it, of course, depends on you guys.
Well, and
We did go through an extensive pic of what and how that looks,
Yeah.
so,
Got it.
maybe that could be a phase 2.
All
If
right.
it comes in and we think like there could be something more there, but I think for now, I think you should knock that off the ballot, and let's just talk about the signs, and the awnings actually are a big stretch, so.
But don't you remember they were showing us like
Okay,
a variety of ways that each tenant could sort
Yeah.
of accessorize
Yes.
the storefront, and the
Yeah.
awnings was,
I'm very
Yes.
excited for the awnings. I like the awnings. It'll break up from the awning.
I agree with
I
that.
like the awnings.
Yeah, I think the client was pushing for it just because they wanted to stand out a little
Yes.
bit
yes.
from everybody else there.
yeah, no, it's good.
Because they don't have a lot of colors to play with, it's
Yes.
yellow, but what are we gonna do with it?
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, so this one is the main wall sign that will be just individual letters, halo lit letters, pin mounted onto the existing facade.
Do you guys okay with the established 1999?
I kind of like the composition of it, I think it
Yeah.
balances it out, yeah.
Late 1900s.
It'll be historic one day.
Already there.
And then the blade sign is like a metal frame with cutout inserts, a white insert, so we can see the pop of the colors of their sign.
So Anya brings up a good question. We haven't supported any lit blade signs in this facility.
Oh, these are late?
Are those lit?
It says eternally lit.
Lit.
Oh, yes, eternally lit.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that. Maybe we missed that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
not
no,
lit.
So,
I don't think,
Nothing's in
no,
there.
let's keep it consistent in the
Okay.
whole complex.
And then the halo light for the main sign, everything in that complex is supposed to be 3,000. I know there's a couple that aren't, but I think Federal Realty had gone with 3,000 and
As a standard.
as a standard color there. Yep.
all right, and the claim.
So I think, you're the one I talked to, right?
Yeah, so if you go to that PDF that you had opened, that has the percentages.
I think it's a folder.
I have a hard time with that PDF, so I.
I think go down to the
lost
folder at the
Oh,
bottom,
yeah.
everybody, that middle folder, click on that. And then,
Thank you.
which one was it?
The window decals?
window decal.
And that's so small, you can't see anything.
We can zoom in.
You can open up the window.
Click it, we'll zoom.
Adobe. So
Okay,
if you click,
So it's that
exit out
top
of bookmarks.
drawing.
What?
Exit. Exit out of bookmarks.
Yeah.
Okay, is it here?
Yes, yep,
Click here. Okay.
yep. And then,
bottom right corner is a plus and minus.
Right.
Bottom right.
Side.
Is it magnified?
Keep going.
right side,
Oh, there.
there you go.
There you go.
Remember, I'm seeing it in an angle.
Yeah, yes, I know.
It's perspective.
It's tough.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna bring it to,
Yeah.
Close out tools.
Maybe a little bit more so you can see the percentages on
and
that
here's
one.
the sconces that I didn't see actually. So you wanted to look at what?
Responses are bronze, too.
The
Yes.
percentages for the.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
so
color.
did you calculate?
Yeah, so if you scroll up a little bit, at the top portion, or scroll down, I guess.
What? Down, up, what?
The other one.
You want to be bigger? Do you have a number somewhere? Is that what you're trying
At,
to say?
yeah, at the very top of the PDF.
At the very top of the PDF.
Yeah, so you can move that up.
I see.
I see,
Yes.
18.9%.
So,
So that whole panel is 63.14 square feet. The two round decals, each of them is 1.44 square feet. And then the bigger one in the middle is 9.1 square feet. So in total, those window decals are 18.9% of that,
of that
Panel.
total opening.
of the total opening, correct?
They're what percent?
18.9.
That's higher than we normally get, but I feel like I applaud you for actually taking the time to do the calculation. I feel like you should get it just for being the first applicant to actually give us proper numbers.
And it's
I mean, right?
And she did it right because she actually went around the letters.
Yeah,
Because
all right.
There's a rule in
We
there
make
that-
the special exception to let you get the 18.9% because of the work you did. It looks good. It's
Yeah, it
well
looks good.
And then
It looks balanced.
the other bays are really minimal
Yeah.
compared to that one.
5.
The middle ones are the door panels.
Yep.
So the one on the left is 5.8%, and then the one on the right is 6.1%. So that contains the hourly information, and then the one on the right has just signature cycles as a decal.
Okay.
And the right is, again, the signature cycles in the round.
But these are
format.
just on the windows. You can still see through the glass.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
It's all see-through, we just have the
Okay.
white vinyl on it.
Okay. Great. Does anybody need to see a sample of the light itself? Did you guys see that in your file?
I saw it in the
You
file.
all good?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And
it's all
then
downlight.
It's bronze.
Bronze, correct.
Okay. I think is that everything?
What does this mean?
This is the awning, right?
Oh, it's just scribble, it's short, it's like placement text.
Oh,
okay.
It's actually not placement, Derek, I think, it's real
Oh yeah. What did it stand for?
products.
Are they
have-
bike? They're types of
Yeah,
lights.
so it's here.
Yeah. Here.
Oh, I,
Okay.
special, I,
Got it.
I guess it's sort of scrabbled to us, but.
Okay. All right. So you'll get a favorable report with the changes of a couple exceptions, which is no painting storefront black. That's a huge one, and no lighting the blade sign,
Yeah,
and then also making sure that the main sign hail it to 3,000
3,000 is the max.
Kelvin. That sound good?
Yep.
Amazing.
Awning and black is approved.
Awning black is approved.
and it's just black.
All their signs, the size of the sign, everything's great. The content, you're good.
Awesome.
All right, thank you, Diana, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Can you make sure, if you see Faye out there, jewelers, can you let them know
Sure.
that they're open too? Cloud. All right, moving on, we got ARB 31, 2025. This is for Cloud 10 Car Wash at 54 Boston Post Road. Gentlemen, if you guys are gonna be speaking, I suggested coming up, getting on camera, saying your name, and you could pop over, you could stand on the side if you'd like to do that. You don't have to be on camera, but I'd love you to introduce yourself if you're not speaking.
Just pass these out, I didn't know what you had technically here, I couldn't remember.
Bring a few more, please.
Yeah, do you wanna grab Faye and,
To the gas station.
Yep.
Take one for
Faye
myself.
and, yeah, Fred Astaire.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Fred Astaire and Trevor Jim. Yeah,
So,
they got it.
hi, I'm Brendan Johnson, I'm the founder. Lauren's gonna be doing most of the
Can you
talking,
repeat
but,
your name? Sorry.
sure, it's Brendan Johnson,
Thank you.
sure. Lauren's gonna be doing most of the talking, but I just wanted to let you know, the last meeting, we had the banner, the construction banner. the one that you guys all liked is exactly what was uploaded.
Okay,
That we didn't upload it, and that was the formality, technical formality you asked for. So that's up there. I'll turn it over to you.
okay. Lauren, after you introduce yourself, have you been here the whole time, Lauren? Have you followed this project the whole time, correct?
I haven't.
You haven't. You know what, Brendan, could you give a quick review for the board of like in 1 minute, the steps you've taken to get here? It's just a fresh reminder of when you saw us, what was approved, and then other boards you saw. Sorry, Lauren.
Yeah, so we have been here a couple times. The sign, we received a variance for the building sign,
Okay.
which is in here, which they wanted us to show to you.
Variance with ZBA, which was last July, month of July or June?
It was July.
Yep, July.
Okay.
This is, you asked us to be a little creative with the monument sign. The left two are our creative, the right is 100% compliant. Correct, I'll let you.
Yeah, I can
talk
cover
about
this.
But then prior to that, though, we approved, the building's been, this is just a signage review, right?
This is
The building,
just
everything's been
signage.
approved. You
Everything's
guys
been
are-
approved.
you got your-
The
Okay,
zoning-
This is a compilation.
okay.
Yeah, so this is the monument sign, which the zoning board said, no deviation, so we checked every box.
Okay.
The building signage they granted us the variance on, they wanted us to show to you.
Okay.
And then the construction banner is, as I said, exactly what you approved verbally last time, we just formally submitted it.
Okay, perfect, thank you for the, that's great, thank you, Brendan.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks, Steve.
Hi, my name's Lauren Rosen, and I own Artifacts. We're in Bloomfield, Connecticut. We've been in business for 43 years, and I started when I was younger than my daughter, EJ. I'm here on behalf of Cloud 10 Smart Wash, located at 54 Boston Post Road in Darien. And I want to thank Herbie for that Phillips screwdriver, because I was having an out-of-body experience. My guys just built the samples, and one of the plugs fell inside, so thank you. I was here a couple of years ago. I represented Roots Ocean Prime.
Yeah.
And I thank you for the approval, and thanks for seeing me tonight. If you look at page 1 of our presentation, we're showing 3 alternate designs for a double-sided illuminated ground sign. This sign is installed perpendicular to the post road. Each one of these signs, depending on which one we do, will be manufactured out of fabricated aluminum. In this case, we weld 0.125 aluminum, which is 1/8" plate, to a .063 return, which is 1/16 of an inch. It has an internal welded frame and an upright that's integral to the piece, which will be steel that fits inside of a sleeve. The letters in this case are what are called push-through letters, and it's a stencil cut face. So with a machine, we take the logo, we cut the letters out of the opaque metal, which is going to be painted with an epoxy that's a low luster finish, and we insert acrylic into the cutouts. In this particular instance, we were asked to design a pedestal, and I think I gave Michael about 18 or 19 designs, and then he came to our office and reviewed all the designs. I won't tell you which one I like the most, but I definitely have a favorite, and it kind of looks like the building.
Lauren, can we go to the location where the sign is?
Yeah.
This is one of the largest monument signs we've ever seen, at standing at a total of 6 feet.
I think 6 feet is the max, isn't it, Herbie?
Yeah.
So we're within regulation, and then we're within 20 square feet, which is the regulation. So it really isn't that
For a
huge.
monument sign? For a monument sign, have they?
Yeah, we follow the books.
But if it's a
I don't-
5-foot diameter, that'd be 25 square feet.
That's a good.
Well, if you're not figuring the area of a circle,
Monument
Higher
sign,
square.
maximum sign area 20 square feet, maximum height 6 feet, one side of the property.
Does
Unless
the base,
authorized by special permit.
Yeah,
does the base, is that included in
6
the?
foot of wall, yeah. So that's.
so we get monument signs like this all the time, and not to say that it's wrong, it's like a no in my mind, but it just seems really large. Designs are cool, I haven't got like that aside, that's something I wanted, that's why I wanna see where it's located on the map, if it's further enough
Yeah,
past the
so
road,
if you wait a little bit, I have it
Okay.
indicated.
Okay,
It's organized in a profile accordingly. The finishes again are an automotive epoxy. We put in a flattening agent. The blue for the circular sign is derived from Cloud 10's branding, and the metallic pewter for the base will match the building. The letters again are dimensional 1/2-inch acrylic. The lighting we use for this is 5,000 Kelvin. And the LEDs are approximately 480 lumens per square foot before they're diffused. After diffusion, it's about 50% of that. We brought samples, and EJ is going to demonstrate the samples. Oh, hello. Last time I looked, they were over here. So there's two methods of illumination that I'd like to point out for this monument sign. One is a push through with a face, and this is in ratio. That's the size of the letter that you'll see. So it gives you some idea of the size. This is a push through, and with that push through, it's completely translucent. This is an edge lit, and we had a flashlight around somewhere, didn't we? Little tight quarters here, but if, I spoke with Herbie a little bit, and I wasn't quite sure after reading the regulations what was allowed, if it was a push-through in its entirety, or if it should have an opaque face. If it has an opaque face, we're going to light it also from the ground to give it a little more pizzazz, because otherwise.
you're proposing to double light it, if it's?
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's commonly done if you have an edge lit.
Not in Darien, my friend,
It's a little jazzy.
but keep going.
Well, anyway, that's the look. Can we turn off the lights?
It's, by the way, it's this blue. It's very,
Right.
it's Pepsi blue.
All right, we got you.
You good?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
All right, trying to give a good representation.
appreciate it, Mark.
We don't want you to be surprised. On page 2,
Page 2.
where are we here?
That's page 2 right now.
Okay,
The page, the next page.
The next.
okay. Hang on just 1 second, bear with me. Okay, so on page 2 and page 3, we demonstrate those lighting techniques. So this would be the lighting technique showing the method on the right with the opaque face, but outside accent lighting. If we go to page 4, we give complete dimensioning of the actual sign, and it shows our pedestal style as being the slab. So there is a rule in Darien that signs should be on a pedestal if they're a ground sign. This is a little bit of a creative interpretation of a pedestal. It ties in with the architecture. Page 5.
Lauren, I gotta keep us moving quicker, man. I'm
Okay.
so sorry, we need some speed.
Let's project forward. Page 5, we show a cantilevered version with a single pole. An idea that we entertained, just to show you. On page 6, we show a traditional pedestal.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so page 7, now you're seeing the location, and we're on the post road and we're looking eastward. So it's on the left side of the drive.
So can we finish out the monument sign?
Oh, I'm sorry. So,
Yeah, I don't think it's true, but it's not true in this digital PDF, I guess.
So you're, yeah, so it's not in the online
Is it
system.
uploaded in the viewpoint, the latest?
okay, so as far as the building sign,
No, can we finish, let's finish the monument sign, can we talk about the location while we're on it?
We'll have
Oh,
to
okay.
approve the packet, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we go to the packet, you guys can upload a new file on the thing. Okay, that's fine. So you don't have, so we only have it in our packet.
Yeah, page 10 has the site.
Yeah. I thought I said something like 15 feet off.
it's 14 feet, but the site plan's in the packet.
I don't need specs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have exact specs for how far off the road it is?
14 feet,
14 feet.
yeah. So if you turn to our page 10, and sorry if it's out of sequence with this.
That's okay, no, it's very well prepared.
Okay.
So can we comment about this, about the monument sign before we move on to the wall sign?
I like this option.
Yes.
I like that option, goes with
Yeah.
the building.
Yep, those are
Yep.
the building.
Okay.
So the reason why the pedestal didn't exactly mimic the shape of the building, just kind of.
It should have,
Oh, it's reminiscent.
yeah, it should have.
It's supposed to be a little whimsical too, like the ball, the circle's about to roll down the building.
And what kind of, what about the letters? This C here, is this the actual size of the C?
Yeah, so we were asked to represent the letters on the building. The ZBA allowed a halo-style letter. This is actually half scale. Now you have to remember, the building's a few 180 feet, is it? Away from
Hold on,
The C, we're talking about the monument sign. Just the monument sign.
Oh.
Sorry.
These are an actual scale.
That's actual
Okay.
size.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The smaller one.
That's.
The smaller one.
The blue.
Yeah, so the C represents the C in cloud.
The letters aren't big.
Okay.
It's the circle that's big, but that's not illuminated.
It's their logo.
But it's not illuminated.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just drawing attention, it'll be the largest monument sign we've ever approved in Darien, so I just want everyone to be aware of that.
But the thing is, if it goes with the regs, right?
Well, but also if you made the
But
letters
then you don't have the
smaller, would you be able to read it?
I don't think so.
Not from the distance.
It's a couple, do I need to stand up there or can I talk here?
Pop up.
Sorry, it's a little over, 2 pieces of context. As you know, when we started in the beginning, we did everything we could to keep the trees. The trees are a pretty big detriment to seeing the building. That's why we got the variance for the building sign. We've got over 500 feet of frontage. If you look at the rent, we didn't put the trees in it. I think one of our biggest concerns is the trees are gonna, we moved it from one side to the other because the trees are blocking everything.
Okay,
So I just,
all right, that's a good negotiation, you kept trees for size, is that what you're saying?
they're big trees.
That's a good negotiating point, so it's okay.
If you give me permission to take the trees down, I will.
They're only 3 foot in diameter. I was
Yes,
looking
they're
at
lovely.
it, should have been
Well, is there
preserved.
any like pruning plan for the trees? Like I'm thinking like at the glass house and you came and you actually pruned the trees up a certain distance so you could get sight lines through past the trunks.
Trunks are 3 foot wide and they're like
The
20 feet
canopy's
tall.
quite high,
Canopy's at 20
just the
feet.
3-foot trunk.
That's just the
There-
trunk.
yeah, there's no
And it's
pruning
like
that had
4
to be
or
done.
5 of them. I had a plan where I went to the site today to make sure they're preserved correctly, the trees. And there's quite a few trees like in a row.
Yes, I'm worried.
And they're beautiful trees.
So I'm worried, I understand your point. I actually don't think people are gonna see much of the sign because if you're driving down the road, the trees are they're all lined up and
Last minute,
they're
they'll see it just
enormous.
as you get to it.
But to answer your question, it took me 3 months to finally get this, to reach someone at the DOT to give us permission to take, it's their trees that they,
Is the circle used anywhere else?
yes, everywhere.
The actual physical
Oh.
circle?
Nowhere, that's it's usually every one of our locations, is that what you mean, or?
No, the cloud 10, I get, like I'm looking at the building, and cloud 10 is like obviously pin mounted, but is it usually that logo exists in a circle?
Yes,
At other
everywhere,
locations.
at
right?
every location, everything's in a circle. We did a little bit, things differently with the building to kind of make it, we told Bruce, somewhere between the Apple Store and the Getty Museum. That's what we were going for. So there's no circle, but every place else, there's circles everywhere in our literature, the website.
To put it in a different context, one of my best friends owns a company called Simon Ice, and we've built a few hundred car wash signs. This is by far the smallest car wash sign we've ever built.
I gotta tell you one more time, welcome to Darien. Second time saying this to you.
I've been through here a bunch of times, Connecticut all
We
my
should do
life.
this all day long.
I'm a Connecticut guy.
Okay, so it sounds like though the board seems to be okay with the size, right? Because you know issues with the
Well,
size.
so, I mean, what's the alternative? If you make if you made the circle smaller, right, to
Well,
bring
the only thing I
the
was-
height down,
Letters
here's
are
the
gonna
letter
reduce the
constraint.
ratio.
The only thing I was thinking is whether somehow you got the base is the circle and then the bubbles that come up and they're actually kind of like cut out. That's why I asked. Is the
It's a
circle-
redesign of the logo.
Right, but that's why I asked,
Yeah.
is the circle.
We need
Yeah, it's a good
consistency.
That's a good question. Okay.
I'm wondering, like, smartwash, is that, like, can that font be slightly smaller? Because it's actually extending, is it totally in line with Cloud 10? Like the way they're stacked? And
It's in line, yeah.
Good point.
So it's,
it doesn't really, it's not like a major,
you know, under
it
6
doesn't really
inches.
bother me, it's just proportionally, I'm just wondering if slightly smaller would,
It's pretty small for a drive-by,
okay.
yeah.
Is that the official name of the business, Cloud 10 Smartwash?
Yes.
Trademarked.
Okay.
In the Cloud 10 always, I mean, the only other thing I can think of is just to make it seem smaller, but I think the answer is no, is that's to flip the coloring, where the blue's on the base and silver's on the, then I understand it doesn't pop, but at the same time, then it's gonna blend in more.
I guess my only other question, as well as with the halo that you mentioned, ground lighting as well, so is that allowed to have two forms of lighting?
Our
To
preference
illuminate
was for
the
the push-through on the left.
Yeah, no, but that's, I
So
don't
in-
think that's according to regulations. If I'm-
Yeah, I wasn't sure there,
Okay.
and I would defer to Herbie on that one.
The direct light is not allowed, so the halo, the side and halo is okay. But the question about is secondary lighting allowed as well, I don't have an
Yeah,
answer.
I can't think of,
I'm
yeah,
looking-
that
I'm gonna
being
look at the
specifically
prohibited.
addressed, like if you have one form of illumination is another,
It would take away from.
you know, simultaneously allowed.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, that does feel like too much.
Well, you're also be lit on the building.
Yeah.
What's the street lighting situation here?
It's not addressed.
You've got Chipotle's signs glaring across the street at them.
Not quite, but at 3,000 Kelvin.
Yeah, this was 5,000 Kelvin.
This is fine.
But it,
Yeah.
The location
Yeah.
Warrants it.
Yeah.
warrants it.
But it's also gonna have diffusers on it.
So the board, what we're chatting about, that I'll bring it together, is the sample on the right, halo lit. We don't do any face lit, but I really appreciate you bringing that mock-up. It's very considerate of you. And we're not gonna support a second lighting source to that, just the halo lit, not a ground lighting in addition to that.
Well, that's why we brought everything.
Really appreciate it. It's a fantastic presentation. This is great. So I think we got the monument sign, right, guys? Just the only changes is no additional ground. We're picking that. We're picking the first option one, halo lit, no ground light. Mr. Humphrey?
Throwing this out there as an idea with changing the color of the edge, help kind of
The white
the size of the
here?
monument sign, yeah. I mean, I get it's like one mass rolling down a ramp, I think it would probably help make it seem not quite as big, but I don't,
You mean make it skinnier?
just
It's
instead of the
It's a heavy contrast, white to blue, so I wonder if you're accentuating the size.
It could be
What color is
silver,
it?
it could be metal,
Really distracting.
it could be metal.
yeah, would.
Yeah, is the pedestal metal?
Yes, it's 1/8-inch aluminum plate that's welded around a structure.
So the
Maybe do the edge
edging would be metal.
If you kicked it, you'd break your foot.
Okay. I got you there.
We'll do that.
Don't pick the sign.
pick
That's-
the sign.
Not sure. The tree instead.
Get a tree right.
I think it would be nice to,
Yeah.
as you.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So if the edging matches the base.
Yeah.
So would you like that as a provision?
What? Wait, so
Doing
what
the
are we saying?
aluminum edging on the circle.
The edge.
Whether the edge color, could be a different color to
Oh.
How about the
Make
silver?
it match the base instead of
I
gold.
don't think you, I don't know.
No, I like the circle falling, I don't want to tie it into the base. I want it to be two different
Oh, you have
colors.
two different elements.
Two different elements.
Yeah.
That's
Because then it looks like it's perilous,
Yeah.
otherwise it looks like it's attached.
My preference is for simplicity.
This way.
That's a conclusion I've come to at 69 years old. Simple is better.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Am I the first to come up with that?
Yeah.
I'm hearing.
So,
Okay, all right.
do we want to look
This
at
is
the
good.
building?
Yeah.
Because,
Let's quickly review the building. So this is the one that was ZBA was approved, so we're looking
yeah,
at for
so the
design.
sizes are exactly as approved by the ZBA on July 8th, 2025. We're asked to show it on the building with exact sizing.
Yep, that's good.
That's good.
By the way, yeah, never mind, actually.
Could you just remind me what the exterior of the building is?
It's a composite material that's called alpolic. It's like a Lucabon,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
and it's 4 millimeters thick. It's pretty solid. It has a nice modern look to it. Letters during the day. You can see it's a pin-mounted letter.
It's a rain screen as well. It's a rain screen, so the water is behind the panels. Is that how it's
Yeah, but it
built?
has open joints. so
I would defer to you folks.
Is it built as a box, or does it have the water from the roof, and then when it falls on the facade, it just
I think
goes
it-
behind the panel?
I think it was rain screen when they.
I think it's a Lucabon, usually it's rain screen.
I think, I
Rain screen
remember.
means detached from the building. It's not green, it's not.
That's above my pay grade.
You know what, you're
It's
saying that
attached on an
there's kind of an elongated
John,
scupper.
It's attached to an
Yes, yes.
infrastructure on the
That's what I
outside.
would
There you
imagine. There you go.
It's a rain screen.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Pin-mounted letters, halo lit.
Yes, they're halo lit. We're using again 5,000 Kelvin. It's
Okay.
kind of in the nature of the business. Again, aluminum fabrication. It has a polycarbonate back. The LEDs face inside the letter that's painted a reflective white, so you get a good general halo that's not spotty
It's painted white.
inside
Okay.
and outside.
Yeah,
And it's unslope. It's not square with the.
Right, it's on the same can as the building.
That's cool.
I
Okay.
like it.
Very
Exciting.
And this gives you a full description,
Yep. that was-
how it's built. If you have any questions, just ask.
Lauren's a great presentation. We really appreciate you guys' time. We hope you guys have much success. Let's, yes.
Thank you. They had one little minor modification on the lights.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk about.
One last thing, if I could. You saw the piece for the
The
fence.
screening.
Yeah.
Yep, fence screening.
I have an example of the material.
That'd be
if you
great.
wanna see,
Where is it? No.
right here.
Yeah. All right, I think it's better.
So what's nice about this, it's a mesh, and I'll pass it around. It lets air flow through.
That's for the fencing.
For the construction fence.
Yeah. You can pass it around.
There you go.
Good evening, I'm Matthew Pop, landscape architect. Just for that monuments going right over here. We had one request to revise the site light poles. The original light pole was kind of an upside down like triangle here. The cost of that light fixture kind of put it like out of reach. It's like, it's crazy.
It's not, I think, 175,000 difference.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I'm worried too about, like, with that cost, I think the picture, you know, in a year or two, who knows if they're gonna go with it. So we're just proposing to kind of match kind of the styles all around, across the street, just the downward, you know, box like this, 12 feet high. You know, the photo of the light pole is exactly the same location. We're just trying to get it to kind of, you know, blend in and kind of, you know, not make it a feature of the site.
What color are the poles?
I was thinking black, you know. No, we're open to.
Or would it be gray maybe to match?
They have aluminum, they have natural aluminum.
Yeah, I would do the natural.
Yeah, that would be fine.
I think I think they have a silver color, and that's what we're
Yeah, I
gonna go
think that's
for. It
the
matches
natural
the poles
aluminum.
on the building.
How many are there?
But they're exactly the same amount, same locations.
Yeah, it's just I don't remember, it's been a while since I've looked at the landscaping plan, it's been over a year.
It's kind of similar to the footprint plan.
Right.
1, 2, 2. Well, maybe about 13 or so, 14.
But it's matte silver, not a shiny matte flat silver.
That I don't know, but we can probably get like a sample of that.
What do you prefer?
Yeah,
Matte,
yeah,
Matte,
nothing
not
shiny.
shiny.
Yeah, nothing shiny.
Okay, Matt, before we approve it, can we see a sample of that? We could do that an administrative approval
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
fine. Yeah,
That's a big change.
yeah, but we just wanted to bring it to your attention.
And-
Appreciate that.
And we went around to all the neighbors and said, what do they have, and copied and pasted it.
But do you want that? That's just different. I feel like that's a reason, an argument against it.
I would agree with you, except no one's gonna see, we're not open when people are, we don't want anybody, it's all locked up when they're on,
It's just for security.
totally for security.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So we'll
Okay.
submit the photometric plan too.
Yeah,
Just
can you,
put the Kelvin and lumen on there as well?
Yeah, 3,000.
Yeah,
That's-
okay, yeah, so then
Yeah,
it
yeah.
says it makes it
In the
a little.
wintertime, when it's dark at 4:30, you're not open? And there you wouldn't have those lights on?
Yeah, okay, that's correct.
Okay.
They'll be up
3,000.
whenever.
Yeah, 3,000, 12 feet, it's all, yeah.
So until you close.
Till we close.
Do you have a picture of?
We were in a little bit of sticker shock as well.
Yeah, these I just have photos, so you probably know what's the surrounding light fixtures.
Straight down. Just making sure. Yes, I've seen this. Oh, that takes me to the side. Oh, great.
I wish there was something a little more stylish.
Yeah, yes, I go to. Someone threw their purple.
okay. So, and wait, are we okay with the lights?
Yes.
Is this good enough seeing the, seeing
Yeah,
this?
we're fine with the lights.
Okay,
We'll submit the photometric plan, we'll submit all of this, and we'll submit the sample.
okay. Okay. Kate, Rebecca, you guys are okay with the lights?
And we're good with the banner.
Okay.
We can formally approve the banner.
Family approve the banner. Yep, so you have a favorable report across the board. We'll get you a letter officially, but you guys can move forward. And I'll put those details in there. What we picked option 1. We picked the halo lit light, no ground sign. I think that was the only change. No ground light.
Thank you.
That's it. Okay, thank you. Fantastic
I
presentation.
think we're all done with submission, so.
Good for
See you in
you.
March or April.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Appreciate all your help, really appreciate the entire process.
We got Faye Jewelry up next.
Thank you.
Thanks, good to see you.
Sure.
Yeah, there we go. All right, next up, we've got ARB number 33, 2025. This is for Faye Jewelry at 870 Boston Post Road. In the meantime, if we can open a window. Yeah.
I tried.
We're
Try.
gonna leave the door open.
Yeah, we're gonna keep the door open because the windows are cranks in this.
Wonky.
All right, Kevin, you can go ahead and get started in the meantime. It's gonna save time.
This should be a little bit quicker, yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty straightforward.
okay.
She was like,
Good evening, I'm Kevin with Honeywell Signs. Tonight we're presenting just one single wall sign for, Faye Jewelry.
Yeah, oh yeah, perfect. It's all right, I moved on. Kevin and I started presenting,
I'm gonna get some air.
Faye Jewelry. 25-136. So here it is. 136.
That'd be 16 one? That one, right?
Yes.
It's funny because it's at the top, it's at the bottom. It should be a part of
You
it.
scroll from the latest.
All right, so you want to see not the context?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
So I think let's go to the beginning, just to describe it. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. A signboard with acrylic letters and border around it. They just want to advertise on the building, right on Post Road. The location is on the next page. I think I read your request on a couple different locations of the sign. I think you mentioned you'd like to see it on the frame of the windows.
I think you should get right above the window set, so, because the window, so there's a black trim that is kind of gone on the far left option, right?
That's actually,
Yeah,
It would-
that's
that's
within the
not-
frames.
I kind of read it as you wanted on.
Oh, in the, oh,
The middle one.
I thought that was your
Yeah.
recommendation.
Middle one,
Yeah, so,
Middle one scooch down a little bit,
yeah,
4 inches.
yeah, have it sit right on the black.
Sit right on the block.
right. So again, it's as wide as the window.
Meaning the black.
That's a drop shadow. It may have not translated in the.
But if this line was actually meeting the top of the black, I think that's what people are talking about, right?
Oh,
If the bottom of the panel was actually
At
the
the top of
very
that
top of
black.
the black,
Yes,
then it
Yes,
would work.
that's correct.
yeah.
Okay.
I want to bring it down to the
That's it,
top.
yeah.
4 inches, yeah. Bring it down one, I think it's one clapboard that you have shown.
Yeah, you want to do one, or you go all the way down?
Yeah, she's.
The sign panel should meet the trim,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Right, the black trim.
Okay.
yeah.
And you like the size as wide as the windows?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so, I agree, yeah.
Okay.
It's big enough to handle it.
It's pretty straightforward, just,
Is there a pic, can you show the last one so we can see the full,
Oh, that's pretty.
Her doorway is very pretty.
right, she restored?
Here.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep.
okay.
the illustration of that door was really well done.
So I have one request of her though, if we're allowing this, it is an additional sign, I guess.
Yeah.
If we're doing this, she needs to remove that cling out of the window. And that should be a feature window now, like
the center window.
that center window. If we're gonna put a sign over that everyone's gonna look into, it should have, I'd be curious what's behind it, but having a poster over those windows needs to be taken down.
It's probably not a problem.
I don't know what's behind it, it looks
Yeah,
closed up.
I'm not sure myself. Okay.
She
I'll
really
recommend
should
that.
make it a display box.
She should make a display box.
Where
Could
it's,
she put a display box with
Yes.
illuminated? Like, I don't know, do you recommend that to her?
And what does David Harvey Jewelers do? I don't think they illuminate at nighttime.
I don't think so.
I don't think we,
No.
because you usually take a product,
They don't
products
have
out.
any.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think,
it's-
right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
empty.
illuminated during the day, just to make it spark.
You can also make them with translucent backs so that you can actually, the light comes in.
Oh, cool.
They're kind of cool.
Okay, so it's option 2 in the middle, favorable report. But remove the posters and, I'll put a request in our letter to her if she can put a display box back there, because what she did on the other side looks really great. She's got an eye for design, she'll probably know how to do that.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Ben? All right,
Did she paint the windows in the middle, like with black?
yes,
So when they're painting the mullions?
I think it's acrylic. We asked, I think she couldn't paint them. I think those lines that left there,
Oh.
I think they're
Final.
vinyl, thank you. I totally.
Vinyl or aluminum or something.
Actually,
They're white in the Google image, like the street view, they're white.
They're still white?
No, that's an older image, this is like now.
I took it down a couple of weeks ago.
Well, no, she painted all black. I remember when her proposal was to paint the frames black.
Not that window, the other one.
All of them, I
Right by
think
the door.
she painted them all black, but I think she couldn't paint on the left window, I think was vinyl, so she couldn't
Oh,
paint
I
it. That's
see,
why.
I see.
So it looks weird.
Yeah, it
But
does
the-
look weird.
That's what it was.
That's why you should learn
It's all white.
construction.
Yeah.
Are all the others black? I can
Interesting.
Yeah, the black, the black.
And those windows are mullions.
Tied together.
Yes.
What happened to the old window?
I can see if she wants maybe like a vinyl, like with black straight vinyl on it, maybe.
Adhered.
If you really want it black.
It'd look amazing.
I think it'd make it look more cohesive.
Yeah, it looks like two different things. Two different shots.
Go with the
That's pretty
colors.
simple.
It's also a mix of the rather above, which is kind of.
I recommend it too. You like that idea?
Yeah, it's gonna be done.
Yeah, you can do it.
What's on the side of the door, the main door? They highlighted something on the side
Can you
pieces.
tell from the other one? I'm not sure.
No, are they, keep going, no, to the main door, the dark brown door.
Oh, I think it's a display case on the right side.
No, on the door, right there.
This one?
See, no,
The main
on the
door?
door,
that?
main
On the door
door,
itself.
main door, on the side
Oh, that.
pieces.
No, the brown.
The brown,
What is all of it?
yeah, what are those? I looked, I drove by today and it's weird, I don't know what that
I
is.
think we may be able to see it in the older presentation.
I think those are sconces maybe?
No, they're not, it's something in the, it's a design element, but I don't know what it is.
Oh,
They're
like,
not lights, they're not lights.
it's like a carved, a wood carved,
Yeah,
like,
It's weird. I thought it was
I think it's part of the door, the original architect of the door.
Not much more information for me to
right, yeah, those white things.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's part of the doors. Like there, I think.
It's not, it's not
Yeah,
lighted.
it's some part of the door, it's like a
Yeah,
little
okay.
design element.
I mean, no one's gonna, like, I said, that makes me feel a lot better, but no one ever thought that those windows should have awnings, do they? It just feels like the columns are too narrow.
Because it's under the awnings are sort of function, it's under a
I know, but just like
porch,
that,
yeah.
those columns are too narrow for the actual facade, right? So like,
That whole
the
building.
whole building,
building
is
is
right,
like-
exactly,
The whole building
right,
looks
so
like
it's
it's
like,
about
how do you get the building to like architecturally look better? And it's like-
Well, that's a whole design exercise.
Knock it
Right,
down.
I know.
Knock it down.
It looks like it's this.
Right, totally, it's
Yeah.
just a bad building.
All right, favorable report, I'll get you a letter. All right, but with those conditions,
Okay.
I'll write some stuff into it for her. All right, let her know that that letter's coming. All right,
It's just like a.
do we have, oh,
little leaf.
next up, we've got Kevin came again, we've got ARB number 34, 2025. This is for Fred Astaire Dance, 53 Old Kings Highway North.
Right.
Kevin, is the building owner, is he by chance here with you?
No.
Okay,
I asked for an approval as well, but no.
you asked for another.
I asked for like a letter of approval or, because I think Herman may or you may have asked
Yeah.
for, make sure that they're okay with the sign before we move forward.
Okay. All right. I will just go
It's like
up.
off 95.
This is across from like the Adhered ice
Yeah,
house, right?
exactly.
Okay,
Just
yeah,
tuck the way back behind the end.
So I'll jump forward. I think the handicap signs, they're illegal there. Those should be removed. Those should be, the two spaces to the right and left should be made officially handicap. And that opens up signage for the actual building, and all the tenant signs should be put on that building, almost where the handicap sign is. That was my thought.
Yeah.
Not to put it where it is.
Not to put it where it is, because you're gonna get into this cacophony of people putting signs up on this building. It's already a very nice building, and I didn't think you should start busying it with signs up there. They should stay in the front, like, that's what business complexes do, right? They put signs in the entrance. But it's confusing, because the handicap signs are there, and those are probably illegal handicap spaces.
They take the space,
Yeah.
They're not correct. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that
aisle
does
in the
not
middle
work.
and all that, they're just not designed correctly. And these are signs that have been painted when they said you need two handicap spaces, one is bigger than the other.
Yeah.
There have to be 1 and 2 signs with an aisle in the middle and then this walkway on the other side. Handicap wise, this guy needs to move over there with a 3 foot, actually it's 4 foot minimum in between.
Yeah.
So the design of the handicap is really kind of to be revisited, but unfortunately, that's not.
Yeah, thank God.
You're not responsible for that.
I'm like,
It
wow.
kind of makes
I
the
agree.
site
But it
more
opens-
difficult to
But
install.
Liz has a good point. I
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
you organize how you do all the tenant signage on either side of the front entry.
Correct.
Yeah, it's untouched. I mean, there's no holes in that brick, so.
Wow.
Yeah, perfect. Clean
Then I
slate.
guess it
Perfect.
then goes to how else is somebody's gonna
Have you have lots of
like,
signs?
It's right upstairs,
Right,
upstairs
so
or
then you get appropriate
downstairs?
sign.
Kevin,
Right,
it's
yeah.
right upstairs,
Kind of know-
the studio upstairs or downstairs?
a maximum
I
X amount
believe
of
it's
tenants,
good
so
question.
we know.
Well, that's the
I
language.
see
Really, that
downstairs.
makes it look like it's upstairs.
Yeah,
It's
it really
really,
does.
truthfully, it should be, if we're gonna do that, it should be a sign with like.
Right, well, that sign wouldn't
Yeah.
fit there. It'd have to be a normal,
Tenant
you know,
sign.
horizontal tenant sign.
Right, almost like a directory.
Yeah.
type of sign, right.
With I like the logo, it's a beautiful sign, I actually.
So you think, talk to the building owner?
Yeah.
Take it from there, get
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
approve, and then take it back
Mhm.
to you
Yeah.
guys.
Come back in October.
But super supportive of the idea of the sign, that the sign is there and
Yeah,
what that they propose. It's a lovely, the sign you did create is
Because there's
lovely.
no other there's the tenants, and I'm not sure what else is, who's in that building, but it's a pretty busy building.
Well, that's what Rebecca was saying, like that we need to get from the landlord to understand those tenants, and if they're, this might start a wash, and everyone wanting their signage.
Yeah, why not?
So we should
Right.
probably
Right.
get organized about that.
Okay.
Just how many people they could actually expect, right?
So come back with like a building sign proposal.
Okay. All right.
Wait, hey, can you go back to that building? 10 seconds.
Is it 137?
I think it, no, I think it's to the right.
137.
No, just open the tab to the right.
Yes.
Is that
mine?
I mean, it's just like, the whole building's like, like it's from the, I don't know, something. We should update sort of like the building facade itself, right? Like
That
whether it
facade
be,
looks like it was added on.
like whether it be just, you know, I don't know, there's something to the doors or whatever. It's just, the whole thing needs a little bit of a refresh.
It could be a cool entrance there.
Yes.
All right, so he'll come back. All right, we'll take a look. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Kevin, for your time.
All right, thank you.
Next up, ARB 37-2025. This is for Tremble Gym at 264 Heights Road. Is that here? Hi. Just a heads up, after that, we've got, oh yeah, the mixed use, 800 Boston Post Road.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Good evening, committee. I'm Xavier Flores. I'm with FG Signcraft. I'm the owner. From on behalf of my client, Trumbull.
Your client is Tremble.
Yes.
What's your company?
FG Signcraft.
Okay.
So sign company.
Had a good start? You want another?
You can go to the sign proposal. We'll walk through the story there. Please. Actually, you can scroll up a little bit. You can go to what the current site. We'll start here. This is currently the site and the structure. This is what it looks like. It's right here in Pawn Miller's Market. To the right, you see already some signs there, including the post office. Now keep it to the next one. The next document, please.
Next what?
Document.
Next document.
You know, it's like a bit of a slow operation here.
Can we pull up, just put in the flat elevation from the road?
Design drawings?
Is that the one we asked you to give us the elevation from the road straight on?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just.
Let's come back to this.
Straight on, but it's.
You want to look at elevations?
The one from the road is a helpful perspective so that everyone can see the signs in relation to each other. It was, I think that,
You scroll down, that's probably the last. No, that's just the
We're
rendering.
gonna keep it open. And we're gonna play it.
it was an additional, probably like a set, yeah.
Regular elevation.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Okay.
To zoom out.
I'm minimizing a little bit, just hope it's gonna work.
It was already at 1%.
Is it 1%?
So you gotta
Oh, geez.
go back to one.
It's just a super big image.
Just type in just type in. Dig, you type in 1%, or Hervé, go to
What do you do with
1%
1%.
Put your cursor on
Oh, I see what you're saying.
There you go. Return.
You're almost there.
1%.
Return here. Enter.
Enter, that's what I did.
But then I went to 25.
Can you just see if you can, the negative or scroll out with your mouse?
Reopen it.
I'm gonna have to reopen it. But I did that once and then reopened the same thing before.
Yes, because it's
If
never
you go up, we're gonna have to be happy with this, right?
Yeah, just don't.
Okay. can.
Yeah,
Can.
but you missed, this is pointless because you want to see it in relation to the
I know.
post
I'm
office.
sorry,
so-
if you go up to the very top right, there's a zoom for the actual screen,
Yeah, you
not
can
that,
zoom out your
not
browser
that.
window.
Browser window, all the way to the very top right.
Top, top, top.
Three dots.
Keep going,
Keep going.
keep going there.
There you go.
Now, you want to zoom, there's a,
To the
Oh, yeah,
zen.
to go down.
Start at 1%.
Oh, jeez.
Only the minimum. I want a pan. I want to put it
Or
in
it's like full screen, all the way to the right.
full screen.
I have it on my phone.
No, no, on Zoom, go all the way to the right,
Oh.
where it has that.
That's actually not a good idea. You know what, here we go, let's just put this computer up there. Can you, Xavier, can you set this up on the screen? And Herbie, you can pull up, why don't you pull up the drawing, the specifications in the meantime? So we can see that, so we can turn, thanks so much, Dave.
Just hit escape.
You can set that down, so we can just see it, so the whole board can get that perspective. The sign. Yeah.
I just think the lettering looks really good.
Yeah. And Lex, the framing, maybe. Here, wait, can we pull up the actual, then, the specifications?
Everybody's completely,
Let's build the screen, so.
Dave Riley, help him. Get in there.
That's why I sent him down this road, I don't know how to.
There we go, but that's.
Nope,
it's just-
close.
Oh.
Okay, go on the bottom now.
Okay, can you just download the image and then open it up in your...
Right on the bottom, just scroll to the right, we're good.
I would say.
yeah, but I like to also close out of that, okay, maybe that's gonna be helpful. Dash! Sorry. Right, let's go back to,
It is, it's right there.
Someone needs to take that.
If you open it up as a PDF there, then you should be able to...
He says you scroll up.
see,
Can you help him? Joe, please, help him, he'll appreciate it.
please.
Joe, will you please? Joe, help, please, someone, Joe, Dave Humphrey, who's my guy. Let's go.
Just get us out of that so I
Yeah,
can get back
You know what I
to.
could do is walk around with this, I guess.
Yeah, that's helpful in the meantime.
So the letters are big, older than.
They are, they probably, they are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, once a full page, usually if they hit escape,
yeah,
it
that's great. I've seen it, it's great, thank you, sir.
to minimize it.
Xavier.
It's not.
Let's just go to the
There
specs,
you go.
Humphrey.
All right, so let's forget about this.
Let's go to the specs, because we've seen it here now on the screen, so we're good.
Let's see what happens.
Wow. I think that, I'd rather go back to those pages.
Oh, okay.
I'm having technical difficulties.
All right, can we close, please, close. Let's go to this, just the specs, all right?
So the second screen we go back, black.
Going to,
Channel 71, we just need to do this.
To Chrome.
Black right now.
Do you want me to help you, Hervé?
no, but it's
Sure.
just, it's a bummer.
Okay, so I think, let's keep looking, we don't need to, right, because we've got enough vision, we've all reviewed it on our own.
Yes.
I think, the actual sign itself, it needs some, the letters are a little too large. Do you have the specs in front of you, how large those are? So, and tell us what they're black mounted, tell us what the letters are exactly.
Okay, so for specifications,
Yep.
So this sign is not illuminated. Dimensions of the sign are approximately 9.6 feet in width and 1.9 feet in height, resulting in a total sign area of 18.5.
How tall is it?
1.2 feet?
Okay.
1.9 feet, sorry.
Okay,
1 for 11 inches.
I caught up,
good job, Hervé.
just as you were saying it.
But what about the letter sizes? Do you have that in here?
Okay.
I might have that in the main one.
This is what we like.
But I recall the height was around like 1.6 feet, 1.5.
Okay,
Everything is very nice.
that's the specification we need, right?
We need the letter height.
About 1.6.
I think fabric
Like
here,
18 inches.
in my mind, looks right, even though it's the same sizing, because the font isn't this thick. So then you look at the post office, and again,
Okay.
it's the sizing, but the font isn't so thick. I get this is their logo, so we need to figure out a way, in my mind, it's not so much about the size, because the size is the same size as the fabric here, but we need to figure out a way.
The weight is more though.
We need to make it, to dumb down the weight, which to me means like either make it on a gray background or give it that, just like fabric here had like it was outlined, this one isn't outlined, like they could put that outline like they do at fabric here, there's like a border around.
A border
like,
around the panel.
Yeah, exactly. Something, but if it's on a white background, if this is this gray background or a white background?
It's a white.
So like, I think it's
current
just so
site
punchy
structure
because it's such a thick lettering, so we need to somehow,
So that font,
see how fabric here is so thin?
Yes.
It's not the size, it's it's the thickness of the letter that's
Yeah, right.
making it look so.
that font is
big.
But the
very
fabric here
previously
size
designed
isn't.
logo.
There's a little
Correct, that's
space
the-
That's what I'm
above
saying.
and below.
Right, exactly, like you need to put that,
Since they
that.
want the logo, then have like more
I
than
think
font.
So we
than
could,
logo.
so we could reduce the
Yes.
overall sign, then the letters get smaller.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So reduce the actual size of the whole board.
Yes, or the size of the letter or something like that.
So the whole board and the letters, like the whole thing shrinks. Everything just
90%
needs.
what you
Yeah.
had. So you have a border of the building
But there does need
behind.
to be a border, because I feel like it's supposed to be modern, it's supposed to be like that, they need to look at the, like, take account, like, maybe go and measure and see what Fabric Care's letter size is based off the fact that they got that border, right? And reduce it down to somewhere more in that line set.
In this one, though, he's covering the entire soffit.
Yeah, so it
It's not
should
gonna disappear.
shrink down so
It
that.
shrinks, so that's what I meant by framing, is that
And when
you
you-
have a little breathing
Breathing
room
room,
around
exactly.
it.
And when you look at the size that they're proposing compared to the Palmer sign, it just looks very heavy.
Yeah.
Not too big.
Yep, too big.
Yeah, way too
The
big.
letters are too big.
Okay.
So rather than 1:11, are we looking at like a 2-inch border, in which case it would make it 1 foot,
Or
7, 1'7". And would correspondingly, that would bring 9, it would be 9'4". So everything proportionally would do.
And you guys don't think it needs a border? No border to the sign itself on the whiteboard, okay?
No, because it's like such a modern sign, and it's just gonna make it look
But the
contradictory.
border will be the back of the building.
Yeah,
The soffit.
right.
Okay, so it's a redo, you gotta come back. But we might be able to do an administrative approval if, it's okay. If it's a straight enough forward PDF you send to us. In that new PDF, can you please, in your specifications, outline the material of the letters? And the exact size of the letters and of the signboard as well?
Yep.
Okay, all those details in there. Anything else I forgot, guys? And then overall reduction about 90%.
Yep, to
So-
match like the existing sign to the right.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of leave that border.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. You can go measure it. So send, and then send a PF to Hervé, and we will decide if we can do administrative approval. If we can't, if it's too much of a departure, we might have to see you back here in October. We will try our best to admin approval you. Yeah.
Unit number on the door?
Sure. And put an address on the door. Mr. Humphrey's saying, if there's an address on the door.
But did you say you were gonna make a border around it? Because I think we said no border.
No border.
No
Yeah, they
border.
said no border.
Yeah, okay.
And just to clarify, you're not proposing any additional lighting or any other window clings?
Correct.
Okay. A lot of gyms like to put stuff in the windows. You sure?
Yes, my client will want that. I don't know if I put this now, but I
I
want
put
the
it in
sign.
now.
Okay.
Put it in now.
Let's put that.
Yeah, or you'll have to come back. You don't want to waste your time.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, if he's gonna do it, put it in all together, so we can approve it all at once. This is that window clings.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So we'll probably see you in October then. We'll just do it all in 1 month. With static clings and revised, right?
Yeah. I thought you said administrative.
If you're gonna if you're gonna add in new signage, your client's gonna add in window clings, we have to approve those, so you're gonna have to come back here anyways. I'm sorry. We'll make it painless. Send your stuff, send it prior to Hervé. He and I will review it. We'll make sure everything's there, so we can make sure it's one and done. So
One thing my client would like, at least the sign, prioritized? Is that an option to just do administrative approval for the sign and then come back in October for the window?
Yeah.
I think that's the
Oh, a
approach.
temporary sign?
No, this sign.
Oh.
This sign approved and come back in October for the.
It depends what the PDF looks like. You put the PDF in, and Hervé and I can take a look at it. It's good enough to what we talked about here on record, then we can do admin approval. If it's not, if Hervé and I have questions, we don't feel comfortable with it, then you have to come back. So we have to just wait till we see the PDF.
Okay.
All right? So make it a very good PDF. All right, does that sound okay?
Yep.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. All right, next up, ARB number 28, 2025. This is 800 Boston Post Road. It's a mixed-use building. I believe this is where Burger Shakes and Fries is, and one of our bar studios. What bar studio?
Bar method.
Bar method.
Yeah, one of them.
One of them. Hi.
How are you?
Good, welcome.
Thanks. I'm Mike Levy. I run a company called Gem Holdings. We are a real estate investment development company. This is one of our holdings. I live in Darien, and so which is why I'm here doing this. We would like to paint it white. I think that the property would benefit from it. We're in the process of likely re-tenanting the second floor. A tenant had requested it. I don't know whether we'll move forward with them or not, but I think it actually looks great, and so I think it's a worthwhile investment.
You don't paint brick, you stain brick.
Well, you'll have a layer. There's 3 coats. I'm not a painter; it'll be done by a professional. But
Yes,
yes,
the paint will actually.
The Benjamin Moore, I got the samples.
The masonry,
It's a 3-coat process to get that look. But yes.
In theory, it's not gonna be as intense. Or is it? I mean, I think it looks really.
The challenge is the lighting, and so it really depends, on like the time of day that you take this picture with the exact same color. It's going to look very different. Like that with the white sky behind it looks very white. If it was in the evening or next to the trees, it's not going to look nearly as white. It's the same white in all the pictures, but you'll get a very different
I
look.
think what Alex is trying to say is when you paint brick, it doesn't turn out quite like what.
So uniform.
I was gonna say, I know you have 3 colors proposed. Are you guys gonna do samples of them?
We were probably going to do a sample on the side before we just
Because I
commit to the whole
think,
thing.
like one of the colors was like paper white, that can sometimes read more like blue-gray depending on the light. I think especially, you've got red bricks, so you're gonna have like warm undertones. So you're gonna have to do some samples to see what it actually looks like. You don't wanna paint this all and it's like, oh, it looks a little bluish, that would,
Sure.
we wouldn't
So
like
before
that, we wouldn't like that.
Before I knew that I needed approval, my plan was to prime the one side, then make sure the coats are right.
Yeah.
And then move forward with it. So we would do the same thing, and hopefully if that requires an additional meeting or an email, we would do that. But I certainly don't want to paint the entire building and have it come out and look too whitewashed.
Yeah. So we need to come by and see those samples. But yeah, let's talk about the
I mean, I think white, it's going to be even more obvious as a building. Like, I think it's really going to stand out. There's a reason why 1970s brick buildings are usually painted black. They're trying to hide some of the decisions and choices, and I think white just brings every single window, every single lever, all the awnings, everything just pops even more. And I think, I would be much more amenable to doing a color of like, the complete angler, beige. A taupe, or not taupe, a dark green. I think white is.
I hear what you're saying, but like if you go to Westport or look at many of the other main streets with brick buildings, they're predominantly white. I mean, and they look great. So.
I think her point is because of this particular architecture. The Westport architecture is different than this.
Yeah, that's a valid point, and I think that would get fleshed out with us doing the sample on it. But the tenant's request was for the white, and I do actually think it looks good. And so I'm happy doing a sample like on the side of the building to make sure that it does actually reflect what we're trying to accomplish.
But once you're painting a brick, it's very hard to undo.
Well, if we did the sample, we'd have to power wash it off. Didn't look good.
Yeah, I think it's. So
we also actually have a dumpster area to the side, and so it's a pretty easy place for us to do some samples.
And you were not doing any awnings, it was just the paint of the brick. That's
one
of my questions.
Yes, we actually just had them power washed. The awnings, I think, look pretty nice. And I think somebody mentioned the windows, but those are P-TEC units in the windows, and the windows are actually totally sufficient. And so we're not really looking at that today.
So I'm support with, I'm support with Anya. At first I thought this was a great idea. I'm like, oh, this is white, but over time, white wears, you see a lot of things. You'll see AC, you'll just see a lot of dirt on this. Like you can already see like it. I don't know. I think another color should be chosen. I think this is lipstick on it.
Just to be clear though, it won't be another color. So like if we don't do it as white, like it's really to satisfy tenant. Like we're not just going to arbitrarily paint it another color because I actually think it looks nice the way it is. So there are like softer whites that we can choose, but like we wouldn't be accomplishing what they're looking for if we simply went to like a green or taupe or black.
What are they looking for?
They love the white, and they are in a white brick building in Westport right now, and they love it. And I also agree, it looks nice.
Can you provide the photo?
The tenant is called what is it called? I think they're in 1200 Post Road, right behind where Crate and Barrel is, and they're called I'm blanking on their name. They're a childcare company, but they're right behind the. In fact, I think if you looked at Crate and Barrel, it would be very similar. 1200 Post Road.
Crate and Barrel is a beautifully designed architectural building there. It's a.
What's the new building I was just asking, that's going, the apartment building, that's going next to it?
To Crate and Barrel or to?
No,
oh, the one behind us, yeah.
The
I'm not-
Cedric
it's under
one.
construction right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I haven't seen a rendering of it.
So this building,
What brick
I
is
mean,
more?
it's just
To be clear,
Is it
architecturally.
traditional
I'm not
architecture?
trying to
Crate and
copy
Barrel
that
is a
building,
traditional
I'm just
architecture.
pointing out they are in a 70s white brick building.
But you've got relief of also brick that's not painted, so it's not monolithic. This is very monolithic, where this has a little bit of.
There's some depth to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think, and that's what I think what certainly I'm reacting to is it's just a lot of white.
Sure.
So either you tone it down so it's not as bright, or you look at perhaps articulating maybe pilasters, at the entry by the.
Inset bays, the inset bays.
Or inset bays, but just do something to give it a little bit of relief,
Depth,
because
yeah.
it's just.
That's what Crate and Barrel building actually
Sure,
has.
I mean, I
That's
can.
my point,
Yeah.
that's my point,
Yeah.
it has,
Yeah,
it
they're in the building behind it, but yes, the building behind it is
But if this is
white.
what they're pointing to and saying they.
No, they're not. You
Oh.
asked for what they were, and I was just pointing out that there are actually lots of 70s white buildings that it actually works really nicely, and if I ask 20 people, I'm gonna get 20 different answers, and I've had lots of people look at this and say, we love it, we'd love this building to be white. That's pretty much been consistent with the people I've been talking to. So,
What about like a whitewash that's not as like stark?
I don't think it will give that modern part, it's gonna make it.
Yeah, it's gonna look weathered.
anyway, I'm willing to make the investment to do it, but it would have to be some form of white, otherwise we'll probably leave it the way it is.
They wouldn't consider a soft gray or soft taupe or something that kind of disappeared.
I haven't asked, I could ask about light gray, that might
Yeah.
be something they're
I think
interested
that
in.
may be-
And that might look nice as well. But initially they were pretty focused on, a white, and so.
There are lots of whites.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what I mean,
There's
that's-
a white that
that's-
goes toward the gray.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Intense
Right.
white looks
But if we
great.
did it without an accent color, you're gonna still have that same
Well, that
concern.
kind of gets into the articulation. You could do like a one white, with a certain amount of gray in it for part of the facade, and then where the reliefs are, that's as a different, percentage of gray or something.
Right.
Just to give it some depth.
Sure.
But that takes some color studies. It'll take, really kind of digging into what that facade is gonna look like.
Yeah.
So taking this and really playing around with colors and looking at
Yeah, I mean,
multiple
I think we sent a bunch of other images that we had prepared in the last couple of days. I don't know if you guys, I think we sent some more
They were
yesterday.
great, they were great.
This is the building we're in.
Sorry, I didn't have a chance.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It came yesterday.
So we found their building here, by the way. We're
Yeah.
studying it. They do have multiple colors of brick painted
White and taupe.
and taupe.
The one behind the building?
The building that
The
they're in.
building behind the building.
That's what the wonders
I don't think that's actually the color anymore. It's white. There's like a concrete platform on the base.
So Mike, I have an idea, so we can keep this moving. Can you come back with, as presented, we have enough information to give an approval. So can you come back with some other renderings that show different shades of white that show in the relief areas? And then also bring samples of a different rainbow of your
Sure,
whites
I
and
mean,
grays.
so would you want me to try, so over by, like, we have a side dumpster with some bricks, so it's actually a pretty easy area for us to, like, actually do some mock-ups. Would that be easier if we did that with a few different colors, and then just, you can come out and take a look at it, or?
Can you guys get a sense
Well,
of
it
the
would be in
relief?
conjunction with some renderings.
I think once you
We would do the
start
renderings
painting,
as well,
you
but
can't take
I
out
also think
They
the
need to write
actual
Yeah.
samples on the brick are gonna be a better
Those would be
indication.
helpful,
That's
but
way
also
jumping the
that's
gun.
an isolated piece that you're looking at here, and then especially if we're,
You
you
can't
know,
take
if there's
paint out on
the,
bricks.
you know, the advice is to look at some options in terms of, you know, playing with different tones.
Yeah.
I think the rendering would answer some of those questions. It could be that a single tone throughout is okay, but until you actually see what those options are.
Yeah, I also think it would be reasonable to, you know, kind of take what some of the board is saying about considering two different colors to accentuate, you know, some of the vertical elements of the building. And if this is, you know, very much client driven, see what they feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it, so like I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was like positive, but I also, I think a light gray would look great, that was actually my initial color. So if they're interested in something like that, it might satisfy some of what you guys are kind of talking about.
So Mike, next steps, if you want to come back for painting, we need to see renderings. So you show the gray, light gray, show those reliefs in here, then we can get to a place, I'd give multiple options so we can have, so we're not just dead set on one. And then we can go, after that, we can go on site and make a special ARB visit on site to check out
Sure,
samples.
so if I go with the gray though, it's still gonna be the same single tone.
Well, I think you could do, we're all talking about different colors.
Yeah.
Like different, it could be like a gray with a darker gray, a white with a darker white, like.
But you're saying, but you want more than one color, you want at least two colors.
I don't think that's
It could be a shade.
Because there's not, because when you look at the building, there's not really a good place for another
They're actually a very good place, yeah.
Here.
in the middle.
Yeah, oh, there's a natural building inset.
There's some
Yeah.
projections
That
on the
gives you
plaster.
Like an arch.
Okay, well,
Once you photoshopped it, it's very easy.
You have an architect that's you're working with?
Drop and drop.
yeah, we can have them do some mock-ups and see if it makes sense.
Kids play.
And it could be that we circle back and say one color, but
You
you
have to
gotta
see
kind of
some
test
options.
it.
Sure, okay. We will look at it.
But to be clear, does it have to necessarily be two colors? It could be like a white with like a slightly shade darker of that same white.
Oh,
Do you know-
okay, so I
right?
thought you were saying multiple shades.
No, so it could be like, so it's like, yeah, it could be like a two shades
With
darker of
accent.
that same kind of white.
Sure,
Or
yeah,
like,
I'm
do
all,
you know what I mean?
I'm all for that. I thought you were asking for accent colors. And-
No, not like, it's not like a white with a dark gray, or
No.
it's more subtle,
No,
is what we're thinking.
20% gray, 25% gray, like,
Yeah,
that's subtlety.
Okay, so something a little bit more gray.
But I don't know if it's necessarily gray, wait. No. I think we're getting carried away with the gray. That's one idea. I think we're trying to throw ideas so you don't feel like you're in a box.
Sure, okay.
Come with some multiple things.
We'll play with it.
Because we don't want you guys to come and waste your time and be like, okay,
Yeah. no,
without seeing it, that way if we have some
we'll-
ideas, we can
yeah.
collaborate and figure out what we like best, what you guys like best, and what colors.
We'll play with it. I'm getting some free advice out of you as opposed to painting it twice, so it's fine. It sounds like a good idea.
And then also, it'd be great too, whatever's there, bring physical samples that like, so we can get larger ones of
Yeah.
what you're bringing, so we can actually see those versus, because the rendering is sometimes different.
It's very tough to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to bring in.
No, like,
Right.
you can bring in like color, like large
Like
paint samples, Pantone, they're paper, it's just
Sure,
paint.
yeah, okay. I mean, I have it, but it's not, I do have the actual color paints on here, but you wanna see it actually on brick?
No, what do you have?
Well,
I'll see whatever
these
you
are just the actual colors, so like from, you know.
You can get
So you
large.
You can get
large
large
ones of these.
pieces of those.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised for that request, but we can do something larger. I mean, the problem is, like,
If you go
if
to
you wanna do it the
sample
right
lines, you
way.
can get like a 12 by 12.
If you want to do it the right way too, like you're going to want to see, take the red brick, paint it, put
Right.
3 coats on it, and then
Right,
see what it
right.
actually looks like as opposed to this.
100%. But if you know what you're going for, if we have the final look that we're going for. But they do make
It's painted
large.
on big poster boards.
Sure, yeah.
Because I'm afraid if you, as, Rebecca.
Sure.
Another direction.
You start painting on the brick, it's gonna be miserable to get that.
We wouldn't
off.
do it, we would do it on the side where it's,
Yeah, okay.
where we could literally, yeah, paint over and not care, yeah, but, okay, cool.
But we'll do renderings first, you don't waste your time painting.
So you won't see my company, it's called Gem Holdings, because it's kept in an LLC.
So who's presenting
Not as cool as
this?
some of
You
our names.
on behalf of,
So I own Gem Holdings, so
Okay.
this is one of our holdings.
Okay.
And,
so can I say Gem Holdings or?
yeah, you can put it as Gem Holdings,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. JEM, yep, cool, thank you guys.
Mike, we really appreciate you guys getting us all those renderings, it really
Yeah.
gave good perspective. Really,
Thanks.
really
Sure.
helpful.
All
So, do you guys, by the way, need to see all sides of the building for the renderings next time?
No.
So we can just stick with this
Just
one?
as long as you get
Thank
to see the relief or
Okay.
the different elevations.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Just one simpler.
Yeah, we'll take one side and put a bunch of colors on it.
Okay.
Okay, cool, thank you guys.
All right. Next up, guys, we've got, the gas station, 805 Boston Post Road. This is ARB number 29, 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's quite.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, for a while the basketball was very,
Yeah.
very loud, so I just.
Dave,
Seen that family photo. Is that Ben Larry?
do you wanna?
No, we're okay.
We had Ben Larry come to our house. Other story. What? Like a silent session over like a session. And it's like the price is different.
Yeah, but I can't visualize it.
Insane. I'm like, I'll be getting
Hi, guys.
one photo.
Hello,
Already breathe. Hi.
my name is Michael Case. I'm an attorney for the applicant this evening. We're here in support of application PL 25-132, which concerns property at the corner of the Boston Post Road and Sedgwick. It's the north side of the Post Road and west side of Sedgwick. I'm sure you're all familiar with the gas station that exists there now. To be kind, it's tired. Bottom line is that the operator of that station, the contract with that operator terminated, and it was decided by the owner of the property that this was the opportune time not only to give it a facelift, but to create a new building and a new architecturally pleasing frontage onto the Post Road. The existing building was built in the 1950s, and it exists actually in two parts. There's a service station with a storage facility in the back. The bottom line is that the two buildings equaled 3,750 square feet, whereas we're replacing both buildings with one smaller building that is 2,800 square feet. Providing parking in the front will be 16 spaces, 10 in front. This is the existing facility. The new facility will have 10 spaces in front of the building. The building will be set back further. There'll be 3 pumps on the site, and the architectural drawings that were submitted originally were very well done, but with the help of staff, we think they've been made even better. They've added some decorative.
Sorry, I'm looking for your site plan, it's not there.
All right.
Site plan, there it is, it's hiding at the bottom. There we go, sorry.
Okay. So the building is moved further to the north, gives more space in the front. There'll be 10 spaces up against the building that will be there. There'll be an additional 6 spaces at the pump stations themselves. The layout in terms of ingress and egress off of both Sedgwick and the Post Road is proposed to remain exactly the same. We've already received ZBA approval for this site plan on July 21st of this year. So we've reduced it to one building. The square footage is reduced, the coverage of the site is reduced from 20.2% to 14.8%. And if we could have the rendering of the new proposal, the new building and the entire site in terms of its landscaping, etc., will be aesthetically much more pleasing. It'll be a much more safe site for ingress and egress and for functioning around the pumps and for mobility on the site. With me tonight, Nadeem Khalid, who is in charge of the construction of the site, as well as Mark Kuchek, who represents the owners. And with that brief presentation, I'll throw it open to questions. I think Nadeem has tried to be responsive to input he's had from staff and members of the board, and we believe this is a great improvement over what's there now.
All right, yeah, let's talk about the materials and the actual architecture of the building.
As you can see it, we are proposing, as we discussed previously, we have all the brick. It's like a red pattern. It's going to be have a grout will be like colored grout, so that way the brick and the grout can be have like a good contrast. The pillars on that front canopy is going to be all AZAC. It's going to be like a trim with a trim board by 1x4 or 1x6. Then we have a gooseneck light on the front just to have some elevation. Some of that Harvey and somebody recommended like a couple of dormer on the front. That way, as well as they requested to have some windows all the way around because it looks like a 4 elevation. So we created the window all 4 sides.
Yeah, the windows, the glazing is much improved. Much improvement to the glazing. It's very strong.
Right, what is right now and what you are looking, and by the time I know you drive by, you are going to love the decision you made to have this thing improved. The biggest problem, this existing building is non-conforming, ADA non-conforming, which is the main concept, main concern. We are doing all the money, plus as well as the way the operation was going and the car sale, the tenant was a little bit out of control, so owner decided to take it back and knock it down, and with that, you know, before we have a commission and those folks are agreed on board. And if you have any questions, feel free.
Some comments I have, I wouldn't mind seeing other types of windows. I don't know if what's here might be fine, but I'd love to see other options, and also as they relate to the ones on top.
I would actually lose the dormers myself. I think the simplicity of the hip roof would be better represented without those.
Dormers would be a different scale is the other option, right? You could have dormers, but they would have to be smaller and
yeah, well, the proportions of the windows
proportions
of the dormers is,
Yep,
there's
doesn't work.
something a little off.
Yep.
And that doesn't do it justice. Okay.
The dormers give it, I like the dormers a lot, they give it a lot more character. But the proportions are.
Something's like the windows are off. Or
The windows are
something
out,
else.
and have they sketched, they're proportionally smaller so that they fit they fit the dormer proportion. Those windows aren't the right proportion. And even the storefront windows, it's almost like they come up to the roof line, they need a little bit of.
Need a 1-foot trim.
Yeah, they need to bring them down a smidge.
Originally we have a low profile, then a few comments came in and they requested to raise.
Well, I'm not saying bring them down too much, but they're like right smack up against the soffit, so give it.
We can lower them down, like another 6-8 inches.
It's a little, it's trying to be contemporary here, but the rest of the building's not, so we got a mixed vocabulary going on.
So a more traditional window.
Well, just more, I mean, actually the framing isn't so bad, I just think that there should be an eyebrow of just right above, maybe a foot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a trim board.
Like a trim board, exactly.
We can lower like a 6-8 inches and that.
6 inches may be too skinny, but 8 to 12 inches.
Definitely. That's no problem.
That line is supposed to line up with the trim. There is a piece of trim there which is hard to read.
Yeah, I'm a little.
We can bring it like exactly the way this one is. We can bring it all the way around. So.
I don't not I don't love the non-cohesive, I don't like the trim, I wish it was all one
The same.
color,
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
color.
Yeah,
It's
material,
really
the change of
like, there's,
The hardy
again-
board,
again,
the
the-
siding is going to be white. It's not going to be that
dark,
tan.
like, but
It's
it
going
should be
to
all be
so,
white, like,
yes.
all, like, right now it sort of looks to me, I was just saying, it sort of looks like a Wawa, like.
Yeah, yes, it does. It's just like anywhere
If you look at a
USA
Wawa,
building.
It looks like that, and I
So-
feel like,
The brick on the bottom and then
Yeah.
white the rest of the way up through.
but you've got like like, you know, like what we always talk about with Darien, it's like, you know, you need to look at everything around us, and then you've got these.
Not across the street.
No, I know, but you got these
door.
windows and these
Like
dormers,
Starbucks.
and like, especially the windows are killing me, like, you know, like we don't have windows necessarily quite like that, and like the mullions, and like they're just, you're throwing like a fairly modern window into like a fairly
Traditional building.
traditional building.
I would say what the feedback you're getting is this is, you know, for better or worse, an entrance to really the only historic area of downtown. Those buildings, you know, that we have such signage struggles over, are some of the oldest buildings, or retail buildings in town. And so because of that, I think taking a little bit of a look at the gas stations, the Dunkin' Donuts on the Merritt, as 1920s, what would have been built on a major thoroughfare with cars, is probably a little bit aesthetic, which I will tie into my next comment is, and I don't know if anybody will agree, this is just me, I actually really like the awnings over the gas pumps on the Merritt, specifically the Greenwich and the New Haven ones. I do think if you had that awning as well, it just elevates the whole building wherever you land up, especially they even managed to like nail the color schemes. So I do think it'll feel a little bit lighter, and it'll feel a little bit more architecturally relevant to the town.
Interesting.
My only,
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a great
Like
recommendation.
Yeah.
Like more brick,
Yeah.
more traditional.
I think the pitch of the
Smaller
roof
windows.
is too low. I feel like it needs to get a little bit taller, maybe do like a 10 pitch. I think it, I can't, I don't have glasses, I can't see. What does that say? Yeah, I
They're
thought you-
progressive, so watch out.
Okay, it's a 6 pitch, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I
think,
think this is,
The problem is it's gonna make it very tall. It's gonna make it a pretty tall building because it is pretty deep.
it's
So
a 6
from the
foot drop.
side, it's gonna look a little
Your
massive.
grade though behind it goes up.
I know, there's that.
So it's not flat, so it does kind of go up.
To the what?
Another thing about the
Go.
Anyway, just
refuse to break.
feedback.
I don't mind.
I mean, I also feel like, and I know this sounds really, it's trivial, but like,
I'm a big fan of
like there's, it's just, it doesn't have that, it doesn't have the characteristics of like, there's no planters, there's no, like, it's straight to the front of the building, and I get that, but like, and there's a sidewalk, but like, it's just, it's a residential place and you're putting a commercial building in there.
This will still be pedestrian.
Right,
here.
this is too commercial for a residential area. I mean, even when you look at Starbucks, which is across the street, like, they've done a really nice job. It's a brick building, it's got like a little courtyard. It's like, especially if this is mostly, having a teenager, like, they're gonna come here and they're gonna hang out, like, in that parking lot. Like, maybe give it a little breathing room and like,
Yeah, it's
you know,
not drawn there.
to the front, I mean, and put some planters and put some.
Yeah, the portico is not drawn in this site plan, so I don't know if this is a line that
Yeah,
moves
it's
back or if there's something that comes forward here in the center. That's what David Riley pointed out.
Oh.
I give him credit for that.
I think it wants to look like an older building that's always been tucked back
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
and you walk by and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that was there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if you're gonna make it successful in town and get people on board with a convenience store, it needs to look really charming.
Yes.
I think there's a few architectural details, or there's usually there's a couple architectural details that I don't think you captured in the rendering, but like even just the overhang of the portico over the columns, like if you had an overhang, that's gonna help.
Yep.
If you had the crown molding, the curvature there at the top of the columns, that's gonna help.
There should be a trim board also.
Yeah, the trim board at the top of the storefront, regardless of kind of
That's
what the
lined up as
storefront
well.
pattern it is.
Professional architecture services and you don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slate roof with brick, it's, the materials are.
So the issue here, because of the slope of the work and the type of building, even though this is where we started from, I mean, this was a little steeper roof. For Joe, Mr. Mural, this was a slightly steeper roof. And that kind of created a really massive, there were some renderings in between that we didn't put in there, but. So maybe the building became a little bit of a, not prairie style, but you know, kind of like a little somewhat inspired that way. So it made it like large overhang, including at the entrance. The dormers are different on the drawings that I provided for advice or counsel. There's only four lights in my rendering, and the proportion of the dormer was matching, the slope of the roof is matching.
Yep, yeah, so even that little detail.
These are things that we can go over with the recommendations that they have and look at certain things. But I think the main thing that we just heard is maybe in the site plan and the rendering, there has to be some sort of buffer between the building and the parking lot. I mean, a lot of gas station, it's a little unfortunate, the cars come, and you've seen all these accidents of cars that don't realize they're backing up or going forward and crash into a gas station. It'd be nice to have something that gives at least a distance.
We have this, that car stops, like we can adjust it so that.
Yeah, but I think everybody's talking about this space.
No, definitely, if you have this thing like the car won't reach up to the walkways, like we have at least 12 inch
No, it's
gap.
okay, inspiration.
What if it looked like a true old gas station and you had like these beautiful old windows in the entrance here and like you really captured something that wasn't a building, but it was like
Well,
or like,
or this one too.
I mean,
this is from the mirror too.
I know the mirror.
I mean theoretically, that's just changing the window, which could be done. We're not fighting.
this is also
This is like
roof
different,
lines, like what if it looked like a really cool, like old, like time gas station, like, right, like.
That's actually a cute idea.
Like you looked at it and you like really like made it look historically awesome.
We add some
Ooh, I like
art,
that.
like Art Deco into
Like Ralph Lauren, like I used to work with Ralph Lauren, get at, like.
Realistically, it's
No?
it's a company down south that actually does that. That's their look. They have the square flat roof.
But it doesn't mean you can't.
No, I'm not saying not.
You know,
It just depends on how, do you want the roof or do you want a flat roof?
if you really made it like an old time.
Well, if you treat it architecturally
But you made those
balanced, you're not gonna need a roof. I mean, if it's authentic to that idea, and it's harkens this old school garage.
This is another, I guess we're kind of looking for your inspiration for the project, to find something that's inspiring that leads it. So here's another idea. I don't know if these resonate with us. You gotta find one that resonates, but see the detailing here, the materials. I think those are like the elements we're missing is like, right?
Yeah, this is the Greenwich merit.
That's the mirror.
Yeah, but the architectural details,
The new painted one is brick.
they get heavy here and they differentiate it. And the material there, it's brick. The roof, I think actually, is
It
that
looks
like
like slate.
It's like slate, yeah. That's
We're not
nice.
gonna,
I still like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you guys are on a good track. I think you guys are moving towards the right direction and
Don't forget.
from what we first saw. You have to remember too, you guys are next to Darien's historic district. It's our only one in town, so I think there's like, we're hypersensitive to making sure the building integrates well into this area.
right, yes, context.
And Hervé's point about like making, or somebody said that too, about it being a pedestrian, it is a pedestrian zone, and putting a buffer in there between car, David's.
I was just gonna say, I think we have to keep in mind, we're also gonna see the back of the building and the roof of the building as we come
You're
down.
gonna be seeing the roof a lot, yeah.
If we have a flat roof, it's gonna be a flat roof,
Yeah.
probably, so, and we're gonna see it coming down Sedgwick.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good point that just brings to my attention the equipment for AC unit. Where is that gonna go?
It's gonna be back of the building is gonna be all
Back of the
covered.
building screen, right?
It's gonna be right on the concrete
I just
pad
also
behind,
think you're
it's
just
gonna
gonna
be
have
have a
so many more
property fence
people once
behind.
David
So
Jennings'
up here
project
somewhere.
is
That's right,
done,
that's, right here,
walking
right here in
down
this
to
part
these
here.
things, that like you.
Right here on this
Oh,
part,
right
it's
here,
gonna
okay.
be
Kinda wanna-
open, it's gonna be
Kinda wanna
properly,
get the pedestrian.
you know, like a
not just the
fancy
person
fence.
that's getting
So
it.
it's nothing on the roof.
Okay, nothing
Especially
on
when
the
you're
roof.
next to
That's right.
Starbucks and
Right.
like,
It's
you
not-
know.
Oh, no, I
the
agree, you absolutely
teenagers,
want to
the
pull in
guys,
outside of
snacks,
just
stuff.
gas, for
What?
sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you 100%. You want to pull in customers into the C-store,
I mean, yeah.
not just gas
Yeah,
customers.
yeah.
There's a
And
lot
this
of
is
walking
like-
traffic down there.
Yeah, this
all
is
the
like
time.
prime location, you drive past this corner 10 times a day living in town, so if it doesn't look great, people are gonna be really,
Yeah, especially if you're trying to
right.
Just a note, the
Especially
landscaping
if you're
plan
tearing it
needs
down.
to
Yes.
reflect your plant schedule on there. So I'm not sure if the architect did the plant schedule or, but just make sure that those coincide, because the numbers are just a little off, on the arborvitaes and the boxwoods. I would also, suggest if you wanna be a little bit more creative, boxwoods can be a little high maintenance. So there's other options to kind of look into, but just let's start to get the, at minimum, the planting plan and the schedule, on the
Something
signage.
like a low profile evergreen.
I mean, there's a lot in town you'll see, and I'm not against the boxwoods, I just find that if, you're not treating them regularly, sometimes you're fine and then sometimes blight comes in. If you're going with boxwood, go with the new gen, they're slightly more blight resistant and I haven't had any problems with them in the last few years. But there's low growth sumac, there's northern bayberry, there's a
Yeah.
lot of other options in there. It looks, from your renderings that you were just gonna mulch, but I do think it's an opportunity to make it feel a little bit cozier, and not just have cedar bark mulch with a couple of boxwoods, tossed in, I think, plus boxwoods are expensive, so there's a lot of
You want to
other.
put some, instead of mulch, you want prefer some stones or something?
I mean, I'm okay with mulch, but I would just investigate, more green cover, so then you don't have to spend as much money on maintenance and weeding.
Definitely.
Okay, I want to be the ugly regulator here.
Yes.
At the intersection,
Yes.
30 feet back and 30 feet from that corner. Maximum is 3 foot ever, traffic-wise, in terms of whatever plant is there, the height connects. and
Everything
exceeds
I've
3
listed
feet.
is like
Yeah.
20 inches or below.
Perfect, but it's for them to know that they can't think of a big
Trees,
bush and
yes.
things that are gonna grow.
Like
Arborvitae or whatever.
definitely, we are looking at least 2.5 feet, from the walkway behind all the bushes, so anytime they grow. We do have a third party who's going to be JC Landscaping. They are like, I have a contract and they are like a weekly basis coming maintenance.
Very good, perfect, thank you.
When you are doing that landscape plan, something to think about, I saw fencing on some of the direct renderings. If you're putting in new fencing or proposing that, can you include that? I feel like at our next meeting, we might still be at the conceptual phase and still be working out the details, but at some point we'll want to get into what that fencing is, what those samples are, the specifics of the landscape plan.
What do you want? Let's put it that way.
Excuse me?
What do you want?
I think it depends on the kind, the building you're going with, right? If you, if you're gonna go, probably more traditional building is the way to go
Have you
here.
taken a look at the 2009 commercial design guidelines that are on the ARB webpage? They have a lot of ideas just to get juices flowing, and that stuff seems to fly through our meeting and committee meetings a little bit faster. So if you want to, it's literally on the ARB page, there's 2 different things. It's 7 pages long, it's not very long. So take a look at that. What have we approved fencing wise? We've approved lots of different kinds of fences.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, where actually is the fence specifically? Where will it go?
Because
Can you just kind of outline what?
the fence is gonna be for the,
Right now, there is no fence. If you want, we can, only fence we have this around this enclosure for the dumpster enclosure.
Oh,
There's gonna
okay.
be all green, all gonna be landscape area, there's no fence.
The rendering had a fence.
It had, that's why, I'm not saying you need to propose a fence, but if you are proposing fences, like,
Yeah.
let's be thoughtful about what those are, what those look like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I don't think you.
I don't think you really need a fence between you and Starbucks, it makes it,
A lot of
People
people
want to
just
make it more
Yeah.
customers if you can walk
You
through.
can walk over there.
It's a
Yeah.
backup.
I would also consider that landscaping, a couple nice little pavers for the teenagers to cut through.
We don't want to.
But you gotta think about the fencing around the,
What kind of products are
So I-
what kind of products are gonna be sold inside this little convenience place? You know, in the south, they have those Cumberland Farms gas station that have milk and things, so if it's a level of groceries and bread and whatnot, or is it just gonna be only auto and car products and
Oh no, it's
whatnot?
gonna be grocery items and.
So grocery item, if you're doing a Cumberland Farm, you may want to actually, instead of fencing, it's tying it with people at Starbucks in the parking lot here so that you get traffic from one to the other.
We don't want to fence.
We don't fence. Actually,
No,
shows
but
like
you may
a,
want to
yeah.
actually do something that kind of
Encourages people to
encourages
go
the
back
traffic and
forth.
get people to go buy their milk while they're getting their coffee.
one other comment for your presentation for the next round is renderings from Sedgwick Road coming from the west. And also, you know, from the, yeah, I'm trying to,
Kind of
yeah.
above.
Coming down those two sides of the building, the side of the fences and from
Just
behind.
2-3 views are there.
What?
I think there's like a 2-3 different views are on the ground.
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
No, you can't scroll down, there's only one rendering on this one.
You do renderings one.
Oh, rendering one.
Rendering one
We saw that
has
one.
this, but it
Yeah.
shows the other
That's
way
not,
up.
it shows it
I don't
flat.
have the way down.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I
they
wish
want
it
to
was
see
like
what
that.
this looks like from above.
Yeah, actually, there's quite a bit of rise in Sedgwick, so,
Yeah.
will there need to be a retaining
Yeah.
wall of some sort on that? Is there an existing retaining wall?
Something, there's
No,
something.
yeah, and these windows are
Well, considering how far back it's being put, yeah, I'm sure that's just all part of the study and the site development that's needed here. Also, I think the site plan needs to be updated, it needs to show the portico. I think you need to show the equipment on the back, see how visible that is. I mean, if it's just air source heat pumps, those are pretty low profile.
And retaining
But-
wall, there's one.
Yeah, I think that must be what that is there. And-
Also, where the portico was, it looks like the posts are right in the middle of the hash mark for the wheelchair access. So how are they gonna get around those posts?
Yeah, I think that just needs to be updated, and
Yeah,
that'll
that's just-
address,
that's just-
that might push that stuff.
They need to
back.
bring the cars further back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it kind of almost looks like those spaces go into the portico. At least just the way that's drawn.
So you can hit it with your wheelchair.
So you guys have two options, you can come back, we can focus just on the concept again and really get the architectural details down and do that, if you don't wanna like go into great depths of all the, you know, the different renderings, the landscape, or if you have a concept you think is gonna move through quickly, you could come back with a more detailed, a full presentation that includes that, like a landscape plan, lighting, the topography and what a possible retaining wall is, like Mr. Riley was saying, also a plan that has the site equipment, all four sides of the rendering, right? Because you will be visible from all four sides, so we'll have to study it from the trash receptacles, how those are gonna be treated, like, I don't know how detailed you wanna go in the next phase of this.
Okay.
It might,
We'll discuss.
okay, it might be where then we could see, we could work with Hervé, show them where you guys are going, we could see. We wanna make it as quick as possible for you guys and seamless. And, yeah,
I have one more that I found. It's off in North Salem, 2 Fields Lane. It's a gas station. It's very similar to what you guys have just brought in, but I think
The proportions are
fit a little bit
Yeah.
better for the same design.
Yeah, and there's just a little bit more detail that's more characteristic of downtown
It's
areas.
the Mobile on
Mobile at
2
west.
Fields
The
Lane,
windows are more
North
traditional.
Salem.
Yeah, the windows are more
Windows are more
traditional, the proportions on the dormers are more traditional.
dormer
Just-
proportions, yeah.
It just, it feels,
do you want us
It
to
looks
send
very
you?
similar to this.
I know that's it.
You know that.
Oh, it's not a touch screen.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
All right, what do you guys think? We've been talking a lot, sorry.
Yes.
Sure.
So because we're open to all of the suggestions, I think we need to have an internal discussion as to whether we come back with a general plan
Yeah.
or with the whole
Yeah,
kit and
okay.
caboodle. And
Bring-
we'll be in touch.
Bring samples next time as well. If you're proposing a brick, if you have a, like, with the
We have
type of roof you're
samples.
proposing, I say, save them now, bring them next time. because-
Sure.
Yeah,
So we have a brick, this is like a bright, it's gonna be arrow proof, that a crowd have like its own feature. So everything gets separated. If you want little darker, we can propose like one of this one. And, or we can have a little darker this color, so it just blend in.
I think we need to see it in the context of the design.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, you may come back and say no brick. I mean, some of those.
Yeah, or all brick, I feel like since it's
Or-
just one
or-
story,
or
and
all
not,
brick.
like maybe it's one consistent.
Yeah, it still have a base.
that would be an all brick, that'd be brick Starbucks, brick there, brick building across the street.
Well, white brick.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
Preferring stone on the bottom instead of the brick. We propose stones instead of brick.
If it works with the architecture, I mean, it's all about the.
You're saying stone is what, all like,
Instead of brick.
like New England stone, is like, if it's not a,
You want to
Yeah.
give a right look and some new look. I mean,
Yeah.
end of the day, it's gonna be another 200-300 years, so
Yeah.
I don't want you to the second and third generation get tired looking same brick. So that's
I
why-
wish how do we need more of them.
I know.
We were trying back and forth, never see any stone there, like, but we did a site in Stanford, people love it, I mean, entire town, like, it came out amazing. So maybe we can throw some suggestion and share with the.
I mean, technically, we went with brick because that's like your theme. You know, it's the brick.
I think in that area for some odd reason.
So that's not realistic, we never go
I
brick,
think
we
New
always
England
go with
stone is
stone.
actually probably more,
That'd be nice
We
relief.
always do
That'd be
stone.
nice relief to the brick, but in still, again, going back to the architecture, a little bit more character that meets the place of Darien.
Okay. Maybe we can come up with concept.
Is this gonna be an independent company or is it gonna be part of a franchise?
Standard Petroleum owns the site, and we're gonna operate it ourselves. We also operate 7 other stores throughout Connecticut. We have 2 in Shelton, we have 1 in Monroe, we have up by the casino. This was leased out before, but we're gonna operate it ourselves when we open.
great,
Great.
appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your presentation, your collaboration.
Thank you.
It's really
Thank you
nice.
for all the work that you guys did in a fairly short.
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
I do want to note that, that's just been pretty impressive.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Okay, on to our last application of the night. It's ARV number 32, 2025. This is 90 Heights Road, Heights Corner.
KHA-LID as in David.
Okay, thank you.
I'll give one.
Did you see his thing? I think it was helped it be inspired. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no kidding, so left out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, I was supposed to do this next one.
No, this was the honor.
Mac has, we're gonna
I feel like you'll reference it.
Yeah, Mike, except my original.
But this is a business zone, this is the zone, this is,
This is the, what's allowed in the.
this is the business zone that we're looking at now, what's allowed. All right, let's go.
Madam Chairman,
Hi.
thank you.
Hi.
Are you guys tired?
Yes.
Doesn't want to open.
Where'd it go?
The last thing on the list is a PowerPoint survey.
That's the one that says uploaded September 16 at 8:45 PM.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty close.
All right, gentlemen, your names for the record.
Just so you know, Hervé, I had to take 2 slides out, they had videos in it,
Okay,
and it was too big to upload.
okay, so we'll do the videos somehow.
Somehow I'll figure it out, but, okay, John, you could do it. You've done a few of these.
John McCarroll, Darien resident, owner with
company V20. My son is president and partner. We have our landscaping team here. There's 3 people from Cerrone, although Mr. Cerrone can't be here, he's on vacation. Matt Pop, our environmental engineer, and landscape architect. Bob Maslin, and we don't have a civil engineer here, but there's been a lot of civil engineering done on the property. What I wanted to talk about before I turn over to the architects is essentially how we were inspired, what we were thinking about, and how we go at this. We've been working on this site technically for about 2.5 months with the same team of people, the same team that developed Heights Crossing. But in reality, we've been asking to buy the property for 10 years. So there was once a year phone call to the seller, and finally the seller sold. It's not a very big parcel. It's only about 1.3 acres. And it had to fit between the 2 major projects and the transformation of Norotan Heights. So when we think about how it's supposed to fit in and what it's supposed to be, that takes a tremendous amount of time, because you have to think about, again, the surrounding properties, what you're trying to accomplish, where it sits relative to a train station, where it sits relative to the other properties. Do you want to create more pedestrian walkways? And I don't know if any of you have actually been to the Heights in the mornings, forgetting about the train schedules, but all of a sudden you see people walking their dogs and their buggies and people out jogging and their morning walks and stuff. And all of a sudden, overnight, it became a neighborhood. And it truly is a neighborhood. It's very cool what's happened there in the past 3 years. So Heights Crossing is open. People are still moving into the apartments. We learned a lot with the type of folks that are moving to Darien, or whether they're just relocating in town, or they're coming from New Canaan or some surrounding town. It's been generally speaking, it's been a pretty good experience in terms of what we're seeing. A lot of high quality people, I would tell you, and a lot of young people, by the way, where they're skipping Stanford and they want to come to Darien. Presumably to one day buy a house, if they can eventually get there and afford it. So when we were thinking about how this fit, there's other examples. We've used lots of different materials in town before. So if you think about the neighborhood that we created in Norotan over by St. John's Church and St. Luke's, on that strip of the Post Road, we built 3 buildings. We nestled them in. There's like 5 churches in the area. They're all stone and stucco and red brick and whatever. And we basically tried to create a cottagey look with some of the buildings and then try to feather it in next to the fire department. We also were challenged with the old Darien Theater, where it was a 1925 building. We took new materials and matched it with old materials. It's a 100-year-old building, and we were able to open up the backside of that building, which was pretty blighted. And then, there was another property. It was a blight property. It was the old sewing room next to Nino's, next to Rory's, at that end of town, and we did a industrial-looking building. So we've used lots of different materials in the past, is my point, and we try to create some variety and not everything to be exactly the same look. Which you're going to see, it's a different look from what we've done in the past, but we'll tell you why it fits in a couple of minutes here. But so the point is that when you think about what's there today, we basically have chased a lot of blighted properties. Heights Crossing was blight. They almost got sanctioned for blight. A lot of it is Class C that we buy and basically rehab it or knock it down and rebuild it. This is borderline blight, okay? You can look at it now, and now once the trees were down and some of the brick is off the building and you look at it from Heights Road and you look through it, you actually can see that there's like a big area back there, okay? And if you think about what's at Darien Commons, there's a lot of retail in the back that you don't see because of the front buildings. So between Leary's to Vivala's, you can't really see back there. But there's a lot back there. The whole thing is back there. And, so what we were thinking is that we had to think about how we situated the site, first of all. Then we can talk about the cladding.
but we're gonna go through this in more detail. Matt's gonna go through a landscape plan, but I wanted you to see this for a
Put
second.
it up on the slide.
Well, if you can.
Yeah, we can.
Is it on the slide?
Hervé, that's, oops, go down to,
We can go to this and then this.
Yeah, that's what's there today, and it blocked your view of anything back there. And then, you know, if you think about Edgerton, Edgerton was kind of it's in a connector street, but it was not a very important street. What you're trying to do is make the grid important and make every part of the grid important. So what we did is, obviously, these two buildings come down, and there was never anything on this side anyway. And we'll get to that in a second, but if you can put up the slide.
33, this landscape plan?
Keep going. You could probably use this one.
That's the existing.
Okay, so rather than, oh no, that's the old one. Keep going.
Yeah, so the thin
Keep going.
site is right up to that.
It's this one. Rather than take a building and put it straight like this, a big rectangular building, now you created a wall. We didn't want to create a wall. The other thing you're working with is the elevation between here to there is 4-foot difference. So your sidewalk's going to follow the street, but the building has to stay level. And then the other thing that happens is you have the lower level of parking right here for Palmer's. And remember, all you're faced with at lower level is that big wall with the weeds growing on it and stuff, or the vines growing on it. And so that all comes down, and now you're going to see parking on the lower level that abuts to the parking with this building not taking up the whole site because it's in an L shape, but you're still getting the coverage and the square footage. And then your parking is in the back, so no parking in the front. There will be some parking here and loading, very much what we did in the front of Heights, right where Goddard is and whatnot. Those parallel parking places we found are really, really cool. They really, really work great, particularly if people just want to get in and get out, particularly like garden catering opens up. People are going to pull up, get whatever they get, sell it by there, and jump back in their car and go. So we're going to put some loading here, and then this, we're going to go into more detail, but this is going to stay parking. Now, remember, this part has historically flooded. And we met with Kevin and his son, Kevin Leary, and his son Patrick, and they said literally 1 year ago, October, they got a foot of water in the store. So this site will be elevated, this one right here, because right now it's at least 2 feet below road grade. And it's going to be a park-like setting with parking in there. So it was always parking, it's going to stay parking, and that gives you the visual that you can, from the Heights Road, you can see back, you can start to see that there's something else back there, right? And then this corner we tried to make important because Edgerton was just kind of was a cut-through street. But now it actually is, it creates more of a visual where this corner becomes super important, and you have this angular wall right there as an entrance. So the other thing we did is we eliminated the curb cuts on Heights. Remember, there was a big curb cut here, there was curb cuts here. We basically have all the curb cuts, for the most part, on Edgerton, both here and here, and then we have one right here. So the plan is to build mixed use, retail on the ground floor, 2 floors of apartments, roughly 20 apartments, 70-30, 70% 2 bedrooms, 30% 1 bedrooms, which is within the code or the zoning. Trying to think what else I can tell you here. This site, again, we'll go into more detail, but there's actually going to be benches in there, greenery, and Matt will take you through all of that, Matt Pop. So again, what you're going to have here is access way to the lower level of Palmer's, all the way to the staircase going up to the Palmer's grocery store. You also have the Palmer's architecture, which is pretty, it's a grocery store. It's a pretty plain Jane sort of architecture, which will be, married in with this. But what this does, again, from a visual perspective, is you're able to see around this way, and you can see around this way. There's a crosswalk we're putting in right up here. It may already be there, actually. It's right here, actually. And you can come in down this sidewalk from Darien Commons, cut through here, and loop right into the post office and to the dry cleaners and up the steps into Palmer's. So it'll create a shortcut for Darien Commons to go to the grocery store, and the people that are in Heights Crossing to go from Heights Crossing to Walgreens or whatever. So again, remember, this is really the center of the donut. You've got these massive developments on one side and the other, and this area in the middle really looks pretty bad, right? And you don't realize it until you actually think about taking it down and putting up something brand new, and what should that look like? So we went with completely different architecture we've used in the past. We're finding that the younger people that are moving here are fresh out of the city. They're looking for an experience. They like the fact that everything's walkable. You know, they don't really have to move their cars during the week. They can take the train and, you know, pick up something for dinner in, you know, right in the neighborhood. So it's we're getting that as our rental base in terms of people in apartments. I'm not sure what the experience is in Darien Commons, but that's what we're seeing in Heights Crossing. And then the other one is all the empty nesters, and they're either in town, or they're from New Canaan, or they're from Norwalk, or they're from Stamford, but they're somewhere in the general community, and this is where they want to live. And the empty nesters generally are taking 2-bedroom apartments, and if it has an office, that's even better. And so that's, again, some of the experience we're seeing there. Again, these will be generally larger 2 bedrooms, closer to, I'd say, 1,400 square feet on average. So generally 2 bedrooms more like 1,200 square feet. So these will be, you know, maybe, you know, somewhere in that, I'd say 1,300 to 1,400. There may be 1 or 2 that are 1,500, and then the 1 bedrooms are going to be relatively small, probably less than 700 square feet. Parking, we have about 84 parking places. If we want to annex it into our shared parking agreement, we can. We have 385 parking places throughout all of the complex between Heights Crossing and the Palmer's parking lot, which we own about 90% of, and then the employee parking in the back. That's all part of a shared agreement, but we don't need it. And in addition, all the parking across the street at the train station is available Friday nights to Monday mornings. It's also available after around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It might be 3:30, I don't remember the exact time. And anybody can park there. It literally is directly across the street. So the sidewalk will continue all the way down. It's kind of strange, but it has to stop here where Leary's is, because they have that, you know, vertical parking in front of their store, and all of them have that. So that's not going away anytime soon. So the sidewalk kind of ends there. But you'll have good, you know, sidewalks all the way around. And a pretty high quality landscape plan as well, which my colleagues will take you through. Any questions? And then I'll invite up the architects, and you can talk about materials. And oh, one last thing. You're going to see a lot of glass. And one of the reasons we didn't do colonial, which we've done a lot of it in town, is because you're going to end up with a monochromatic look that you're really not going to be happy with, because everything's going to be New England, New England, New England, and in this area you can afford to maybe make a change. I happen to agree with your comments about the gas station, by the way, too, but that needed to be a little more New England. But anyway, so the other thing about the glass is that it's reflective. So it'll give you more of a light and airy feeling, so that you actually feel safer, and because you have more visibility around the site. So that's one of the things we were trying to create. Again, you've got huge visibility here, and pretty much a glass-related building there with some stonework that matches the stone that's on the corner of Heights Crossing. Okay.
Thanks.
Will or Eric?
I should go through the slides. Everybody's going to flip them, so.
Okay, great.
You're getting 2 architects at the same time.
Yeah, 2-for-1 special. Not as much stucco, I promise. I'm architect Will Capel. This is my colleague Eric Murray. We're from the firm Surround Architects. Here to show you, trying to not repeat too much of what was just said. It's a very tough act to follow. As John said, the composition is formed of, is organized into 2 distinct levels: ground level retail with 2 upper floors of residential use. The building maintains a strong street edge while incorporating covered entries, outdoor seating, and pedestrian-friendly connections on all sides of the site. The roof line is defined by a sloped standing seam metal roof, which adds a little bit of character, as well as providing a visual relief from all the horizontal proportions of the building. For materials and facade, we're using a combination of natural stone, a wood textured porcelain, which I have here, as well as expansive glazing, similar to what can be found at Heights Crossing and Darien Commons. The stone cladding creates a timeless and durable base, rounding the building and tying it to the neighboring developments. The horizontal wood texture brings warmth to the facade and complements the stone while also providing some contrast against the metal roof. The large windows and glass balconies on the upper floors are maximizing light. That was some input we got while doing Heights Crossing as a response to comments. It creates transparency and it enhances the visual connection between interior and exterior. On the street level, we're using stone piers and storefront glazing in between to create rhythm and transparency for the retail. The canopies provide all-weather protection, and bench and landscape elements soften the urban edge. The upper levels feature glass-fronted balconies to create some depth in the facade, some pushing and pulling. And the repetitive window modules provide some order and balance, while subtle variation creates some relief to an otherwise model.
This is Heights Room.
Correct. Yes. We tuck the surface parking behind and beneath the building to maintain an active street front corner. And as John said, with the glass being highly reflective, we feel like it's creating a better visual connection to the neighboring developments. As far as overall character, the building embodies a contemporary yet contextually sensitive approach. We tried to be very conscious of the height, balancing stone, wood, and glass to achieve this design.
So what are you calling the character of the building? What's the architecture?
Say modern.
Modern.
Yeah.
2025 modern? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's more of a transitional modern to kind of bridge from the colonial that Darien has so much of.
I'm curious, and I appreciate the idea of sort of moving away from, you know, what's going on in Darien Commons and Heights Road in terms of the architectural character. But this does not seem to be something that I've seen in any version of downtown Darien, or that even speaks to something, that evokes something, even modern. So it'd be great to better understand why the metal standing seam roof in that shape, why the stone, that particular stone in that way. I actually, the porcelain material is actually pretty cool. I do it on my buildings too, in much larger panels, but so using those materials are interesting, but I just, the rhythm and the character of the building doesn't evoke anything.
I think it's contradicting itself. There's some elements that are really traditional, and there's like the stone, and there's some elements like what we're saying, the porcelain and the glass front balconies that are really modern. And right now it's missing the mark on both fronts. And the roof itself, I just don't get.
Yeah, that's my strongest objection is the roof. I think if you're going this modern, I think that cap, it doesn't seem like it's an appropriate.
We've had several versions of it where we've had it all clad in metal and it was way too contemporary.
I'm wondering if we're going that way, if that wouldn't be.
Why
not?
go all in?
I think you're struggling in between
See what it
styles. I mean,
looks
to me,
like.
the mutton pattern of the windows is more traditional.
Right.
Where we're trying to tie in all of the.
But it's, there's
other
a lot
architecture.
going on.
It's
There's a
There's
lot
like too
going
much
on.
going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pick a lane, right?
Right.
What, I mean, and modern may be interesting.
Modern could be.
But I also think that the pitch of the roof is not super modern. So like, you're using a really modern material on a roof that's,
mansard roof.
it's not the
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's not really.
It belongs to the roof.
So like, it's mixing different styles and mixing different
Yeah, I mean,
materials and.
We've played around with different versions of that. Again, it's more, that's what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to tie in that traditional area
You gotta go
instead of
one way or
going
the.
all the way in.
Yeah, but you gotta go either one way direction or another, because this is just
Did
too
you have
much.
any precedent imagery you were looking at?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, that's a great
Yes.
question.
Or is
Yeah.
this just,
Yeah, what was your inspiration?
That would actually help a lot if we saw some contextual, like some case studies or something
Yep.
to kind of justify where this is.
I mean, I think that the general idea of the corner and the shape and everything really speaks.
We were trying to come out with
speaks
something
well,
unique that was different and
but the.
kind of establish
it's
itself.
just-
Yeah, I
on its
agree,
own.
the
yeah,
shape is.
John, I mean, I
Shape is
appreciate
good.
your background and how you're thinking about this
Yeah.
entire
Right.
area of our town, and that's fantastic. And I hadn't thought about it previously, where you're providing an opportunity to look, you know, into the other developments and not just trying to block it. I mean, you mentioned the glass. You know, is there an opportunity to, you know, really actually go what I would call more modern, you know,
Yeah.
using that glass and, you know, not having, in my opinion, the stone, especially on floors 2 and 3, you know,
Agreed.
create a more heavy massing
Right.
and have it be, you know, unique in style, but, you know, fit better as this, you know, unique little building, you know, amongst more traditional
Yep.
buildings.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really like, it sort of looks like a finished, like 60s things that started and then just ended.
Well, along
But I
the-
also think the other thing that I was gonna say when we were thinking about the buildings and the light and the windows and things like that, is what you're looking on, because they look really great now, but the fact of the matter is a lot of this is looking at train tracks and other buildings, and like, it looks really awesome when they're all open, but if, you know, you're gonna move in here and half these windows are gonna be closed, they're gonna be different curtains and styles and things like that, because they're not looking at anything that.
That's not correct. Let me explain why. First of all, we always put shades in every one of our buildings, okay? And everybody has the same shades. And if they want to put draperies up, it's on the inside of the space and not on the outside. So you don't see their shades, or their draperies, rather. That's first. Secondly, the apartments that face the tracks were the most in demand.
Yeah.
Now, we built them differently. We put triple pane windows on those windows that face the train tracks so that they didn't hear the trains, and we completely foamed insulation like you can't believe, where we went 1.5 foot in the ceilings on the other project, and in the walls, it's at least 6 inches of foam. You can't hear the trains, okay? You can hear the horn, but you can't hear the trains. You can't hear the cars from I-95. So people that are like looking out the windows, they actually like seeing, that's what they like seeing, particularly if they're city people that move to the country, or the suburbs rather. So look, you know, the standing seam is going on in the building at, you know, the Citibank building, which you guys approved. And we thought that since it's going on that building, that's a different color standing seam. That's why we went with the standing seam here. We tried all kinds of materials. If you said, okay, well, let's do it and pick a material. Say you wanted to do it in fake slate, okay? Let's say you want to do it in fake slate. That wouldn't fit at all. That would look
With the
stupid.
shape of
The shape is just, it's
weird.
truncated, it's not.
Well, we could have gone shorter, which we still could.
Or do you need a roof? Can you just
Well,
go straight up?
we're putting a rooftop area up there, because there isn't a rooftop in the area.
So do a parapet, I mean, make it go straight up, you know, if you're gonna, like I said, pick a lane, pick the modern articulation, you would have sort of straight up, you could create a parapet that's high enough to create that rooftop
Okay.
experience, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that parapet has breaks in it, maybe there's, openings in it. Again, take away the trying to layer in the more traditional materials and character and make it modern and see what happens.
Okay. Well, the other thing is, again, you could go with something traditional red brick. You've got plenty of red brick in that neighborhood, okay?
But use the porcelain tile. I
Well,
mean,
we are
that's-
using the porcelain
yeah,
tile,
use more
but
of
we
it.
were trying to tie the stone with the stone in the neighboring project.
Oh, for the base, that's great, but I'm in total agreement that I think the stone is not, it's not picking up the rhythm that the way the facade is. It's distracting from it.
Let me clarify. So what you're suggesting is that we go with the porcelain instead of the stone on the second and third floor?
There's something else than the stone.
I would say more the porcelain, and whether
it's stone, maybe it's a different material.
or a
maybe it's
panel,
different
like
panel.
aluminum panel.
Exactly.
You know.
Again, we explored a lot of these avenues, and one of the problems was it started to look like an office building.
Kind of looks like an office building now.
Yeah, it looks like an office building.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Just a quick comment, you mentioned triple pane windows. When I saw that in the materials, I was like, great, some energy conscious design going on here. So I was a little surprised that it's only on the one side. Just from a sustainability standpoint and energy use standpoint, if you could use it throughout, it's a savings, it's a return on investment over the long term.
Yeah.
That's an aside. So, I think kind of simplifying the materials on the second and third floors to give them a little bit more cohesiveness would be a good step.
And the porcelain tiles come in all different sizes. I mean, you could play with sort of the modules, right, of the porcelain tile. Maybe it's smaller in certain areas and larger format in others. Again, I think.
Are you remodeling this particular building now? I want to make sure you're more careful. That are you making changes to this building, or you're saying it's a startup from the beginning, like that needs to be a larger look?
Well, I think.
Because I want to make sure we're not like trying to fix something and build and box ourselves into something.
Well, last time we did that.
We have done that,
Very,
it's no problem.
very unsuccessfully tried that before. I would consider like revisiting.
Well, I mean, the massing is gonna probably stay pretty close to what it is, but I would say the roof line, the roof shape, the roof type, the facade materials, in my opinion, the window
What was supposed to go on the
pattern.
roof?
There's a small amenity space up there, and then we're trying to hide all of the equipment up there. So you don't see it up and down the street when you're coming up there.
I'm also just struggling with one flat.
Space, yes,
Really
one big
all the
spot.
way around.
I almost feel like it should be multiple
So
buildings.
I do think that
You can articulate that way.
puts in significant resources into our every decade, plan of construction and development. And I think as we get further away from our 2016 one and closer to the one that is currently being taken up by town, we have seen that less and less and less of those recommendations are honored. This whole development was considered with the golden plan in the 2016 development and commercial construction, and that considered massings, heights, pedestrian zones. And the potential use case of those corners, right? So I think maybe just kind of looking at this, looking at what the town has paid for already and had architectures design, and find the balance, right? Like find kind of what the town has considered, before, and also what works economically for you in the space.
I'm also curious for you guys to come back when you represent your inspiration. As someone mentioned earlier, coming in with
Precedent images.
Yeah, precedent images. One of the things that actually the most successful part of Federal Realty next door is they had this jewel case, the Gregory's coffee, the jewel. It was inspired, it was deliberately pushed modern lots of glazing, the dark color, and it's been like the most, looking back, like, my gosh, we should have been more thoughtful in how we did, like, treated the rest of the building and been more, like more conscientious on that inspired look. That was inspired. And I think if we had some of those ideas to draw from here, like,
I think that's where I'm going with I wish there were additional buildings because
Yeah.
of the Gregory's, how it's like a separate building, maybe there's a way to kind of create a community.
Well, I think, can this building be treated as the Gregory's
Of that,
Yes.
of this
It's a bad
section.
way to put it,
Yeah,
but
I
like
think-
this, kind of standalone, I agree that we shouldn't just try to go traditional because it aligns with everything else. But for me, this just kind of, this mixing styles, like I spoke about, it kind of misses the mark a little bit. and it should be
Sounds
that.
really,
So Joe Paparo, I'm the owner here, one of the owners. So I think one of the things that you guys have said is not really necessarily talking about the massing of the property, because that's not something that we're prepared to change at all. In terms of the materials on the sides, on the second and third floor, the stone and such, I can certainly see us changing that, along with the roof line. That's something that we've talked about internally. We've looked at multiple different types of roof lines and such. But I don't think we're gonna be making wholesale changes to this plan, so I wanna make sure that's clear to the board.
What do you define by wholesale changes?
I mean-
Are you talking about massing, or are you saying?
The massing's not changing, period.
What's driving the massing?
Economics.
Okay. And
I
so.
mean, we've done 10
so-
projects in town, we have a pretty good track record of what we built.
I'm not
So it's,
questioning,
I'm
I'm
not,
not questioning
I'm
that.
not looking to change
I'm not
the
questioning
massing.
that, but there's articulation of the architectural skin that, that's part of your massing.
I didn't say that we didn't change the sides, but I mean, you guys have had some great recommendations, which we may include in our final plan. But I don't, we might not be coming back to this board, let's be clear. We haven't committed to doing that. So you guys can, we want to hear what you guys have to say, we want to take your opinions in, and we want to see if we want to come back.
got it.
I think
Thank you
we
so
have
much,
been
Joe.
successful in the past at really strong collaborations with
I agree.
applicants.
I agree. At the same
Sit
time,
before us, and I think you have a fantastic board, a very experienced board who has for years provided great recommendations that improve the developments in this town. And I think that we could come together and try to achieve, implementing some of the recommendations we're making to give what I think this side of the table would consider a much more, I won't say more, but a better building as an end product.
I don't disagree with you, and as I said, we're definitely going to take what you guys have been saying and under advisement and possibly change parts of the plan. We're not going to make wholesale changes to the plan. We've developed more in this town than anyone else has in the last 6 or 7 years, including Genovese and this stuff going on. We've done 10 different projects in the last 7 years.
So Bob, correct me if I'm wrong, but this project has not been vetted by the Planning and Zoning Commission yet. So the massing has actually not been approved by anyone yet.
Correct.
So in other words, the massing is really not set in stone as of yet, because it hasn't been approved.
No, it's set in stone from this is what we're presenting to the board in terms of the planning and zoning board.
But if the collaboration.
If they change, if they say, no, we don't like this, then yes, well, obviously we're gonna be going back to a drawing board.
Okay, so you're saying you're presenting this as a massing, you will be presenting the same massing to the Planning and Zoning
Correct.
Commission with maybe some tweaks?
There's definitely architectural tweaks that this board's already suggested tonight that I see us changing.
Perfect. To answer your question, we are going on September 30th and October 7th. This project complies with the regulation except for two things. And so we're asking for 2 regulation amendments that have to do with the fact that this is a smaller parcel than the other larger parcels in the New Orleans Heights business zone. One of them is, in the zone, in order to get an additional floor level, you need a minimum 10,000 square feet of public plaza space. Well, that's just totally not practical here at all.
Why? Why is that not
Setting aside
practical?
10,000 square feet in an acre and a third.
It's only 60,000 square feet.
It's an enormous amount of land to give up to public plaza space. We are including in this that little park area that complies with the public plaza space regulation other than that minimum 10,000 square feet. So area-wise, that complies. And the other is, there's finished space that we would use for tenant amenity space, like a fitness room and that sort of thing in the basement, and the little vestibule area up on the top that you can see in this perspective. That light square there is the active floor area of the rooftop amenity in the larger structure.
Oh, so it's not bad.
Behind it is the elevator lobby and vestibule and the equipment room. The actual other mechanicals are going elsewhere in the roof. That roof that there's been some discussion about is functioning as a parapet, really, to hide the mechanicals and, or screen the mechanicals and screen the public plaza area and that sort of centrally located vestibule part of the structure. So other than those two issues, this completely complies with the regulations.
So the height of the roof is 30 foot to the flat? Just that's the regulation.
I believe I knew somebody was going to ask.
It's 45 feet is the height of the zone.
The height, well, where did I do this?
45 right now.
Is, if you go to the top of the parapet, it's, geez, what did I do with that? Oh, actually,
Maximum height is 830.
let me go to that.
No.
No, I have the,
Yeah, but
Actually,
it's 45 feet provided that you have the exemption of the, or if you have the plaza at 10,000.
Correct.
So you're questioning the 10,000 plaza and the smaller plaza, does that rule of increase allowance still applies because you're not providing the 10,000?
correct. If you go to, which
So
slide?
the commission may specifically permit height to increase maximum increase storage 45,
It's,
provided that.
Can you go to slide 30?
I gave the board the regulation 746 C2 in your booklet.
Which one do you want? 30. Go ahead.
I can't see the numbers from here.
First ones. Okay, so here, is your average grade 75 feet. Oh, use the first one.
As presented.
Okay, you can do it.
Okay,
On the left side there.
all right. So to the top of this vestibule, this is an equipment area. So the active space is just lighter colored. That is 49 feet and 9 inches.
The height isn't something we should be discussing.
But the height to the actual flat roof,
Yeah.
that goes up to
You know, Bob, yeah, let's move on from this. You know, like,
116.
so I'm so
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
because
six.
this is something we should be discussing. I think at this point, architecturally speaking, it's much more than, to not use Joe's word tweaks is not right. I think the board's looking at,
I think we've provided comments that you guys can, consider or not. I would also say it sounds like you've explored other versions of this design, and if you have things you've already done that you're able to share, maybe, that is something that, we could comment on at a future meeting, but I think, I'm sorry.
no, I would say we've only talked about, we haven't talked about the site plan at large. I have just concerns. I think we've kind of hinted to that about it just being, just lots more parking. I'd love to hear ideas of how we're going to improve, like, the connectivity between sites other than just a sidewalk. I think that's pretty basic. There's much more things we could be doing to invite crossover between the two. So I think that's something that needs to be investigated. Green space, I know there is some requirement, Bob, you know the details, but I think
Matt's here, we'll just show you if you want to take a minute.
we can take a minute, yeah.
Can you go to,
Matt, you want to show that sidewalk, the connection?
start with 33 if you would.
Yeah. We'll take that.
Actually, wait.
Landscape.
Okay, there you go, yeah. Matt. Why don't you just operate in there?
Good evening, Matthew Pop, landscape architect, environmental landscapers.
Could do that.
I think we'll I'll start with the streetscape and then we'll hit the plaza area over there. You know, the trees that we're using here, there's a narrow growing red maple. Now, usually you try to have a wide street tree where there's room, but since the building is here, I kind of kept with the Armstrong maple. Coming up the side street here, I tried to match the plants that were being used up in Federal. They have lots of birch trees with a little ivy underneath them, a little gross sumac. So we tried to match that. They also had some willow oaks up there, so we tried to match those there. The kind of the plaza area here, a wave-like pattern that kind of goes through at the main sidewalk, and then the wave-like pattern. And then we kind of the focal point here. It's a circular area, and we'll have benches around that. There'll be stepping stones through here to a lawn area. To a lawn area back through here. I'm thinking that some of the people have dogs, know where they walk their dogs. This area over here is not, I believe, is not included in the plaza area, so that's pretty big. The plaza area is mainly just down through here. The idea was trying to screen the parking from Heights Road. I think if we did that, mainly these trees through here are a honey locust, trying to get a larger canopy of that light underneath it.
Quick question?
Yep.
You said, or John said that you were raising the parking lot like 2 feet. Does it then step down at that plaza to the street level?
From here up, I think it's about a 2-foot grade difference from the curb here
up
to the curb there.
Okay.
So it goes
So it's
up.
going to be like bermed up or,
Well,
I mean, 2
2
feet's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot, no. Yeah, you could pick up 2 feet, just in the back, but yeah, it's not that much. Yeah, I think too, in the future, if we wanted to stick a piece of art or right there, we could stick it right at the kind of the focal point of that wave-like walkway there. Lighting, we have the same light poles that we using down the street. They're scattered around the perimeter. If there is, right down through here, there's a small bollard, 24 inches high, that we're proposing along the walkway. And through here, there's 6 bollard lights.
Is there a dimensional reason that you didn't put any trees along between the asphalt of the post office parking and the asphalt of your parking, like along here?
There's no.
Because right now it's all.
It's only about this much space, so.
Well, but then what I'm saying is can these parking spaces move in, or is it too tight? And that's the reason you can't carve out some dirt and some planting to create some shade here? Yes. Because this is a lot of asphalt.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
There's way too much asphalt.
I mean, it's nice that it's open, you don't have to put a fence, but you can put some trees.
Yeah, I mean, I would also consider that people are going to walk across that area. That's going to be, the
John was talking
intent.
about the connection.
Well, John invoked, he invoked a very poetic idea to connect through, but then it's not really expressed.
Well, it's
If you
not
connect
a pedestrian connection.
No,
Through the parking lot.
Matt, there is a pedestrian connection that we put in.
Right.
Yeah.
It goes right in front of the post office.
Right, where is it?
Area like
It's
permeable
right
pavers.
Parking spaces.
Those are parking
This is
spaces.
tight.
Yeah, that doesn't invite somebody to walk.
This needs to be like 10 foot
So
high.
I think
So we can highlight that.
the thought with the plaza and having a placemaking
it's not a civil
spot is a good thought, right? I think that is
Up front.
great. I think we have to consider how the parking is or where exactly it is and make sure that it's safe and it's welcoming, because we've seen those plaza parks not work out in town in plenty of places. I am a little concerned on the northeastern part of the parking lot. That is a view to all of Federal Realty's generators. It's really ugly, and we're highlighting that. And so I would consider kind of playing with the parking lots and the layout there on how to block that view of Federal Realty. And we have the same problem on the east side where that is, yes, that's where we're serving it. I would certainly, Matt, just, yes. I would also remind you, the reason why this all floods is there used to be a pond there, and Darian filled it in. And so that's why we have water issues, but in 1934, there's a very large pond right where all the delis is, so. So just, consider that when you're picking your plants. And the other reminder is, actually, we did have a 2020 revision of the commercial design guidelines, and that was no tree pit within 2 trees of the other one, so, and also no columnar and fastigiata cultivars of the trees, so, it just means every other one, every 2 has.
Like the tree guidelines that you have, no pin oaks, you can't use pin oaks. But you look at all the pictures in the book are pin oaks.
Yes, well, we have a lot of pin oaks, but I think, the pin oaks are fine as long as they're not, I'm actually surprised, the Eversource doesn't like the pin oaks?
I think they're not a sidewalk tree.
They're not a sidewalk
Because
tree?
of the debris, of the acorns.
But you look at the pictures, the typical
Yeah.
picture, the sample picture, and they're all pin oaks.
Yeah, I mean,
So like if
look, I'm not saying that we're married to this, right? The 2020 plan also has Calvary pears listed as an acceptable tree in town, which is invasive and you can't even buy it anymore. So I'm not saying it's invaluable or infallible, but I do think, part of the reason why we want diversity in trees is what we've seen in the last 3 years happen to the beech tree, right? Like, we don't want all of these trees to die in 10 years because something comes through. And while I'd like to believe that maples won't be part of that, we just don't know. So just, bounce them around a little with, similar size trees. I don't love the idea of, I have always advocated for kissing trees in town where the Eversource will allow me to. So, the bigger canopies are favorited. It's better for
everything.
Energy, value, everything. People's happiness. I can give you a million studies on how much canopies help. So, those are just my quick
But can I back you away from like the details here in the larger picture? Which I think, like, going back to this idea of connectivity, I feel like the plan here is less inspired as far as that goes. Like, as Ms. Lopatinsky said, it doesn't invite you to want to walk through and be part of that. Like, you've got like your thoughtful garden, that area, but it's put off by a liquor store, in an area where people won't necessarily want to. I'm not sure if it will.
Yeah, it's not that's not a destination. It's because the way it's framed physically becomes a destination, that pocket park, right? Because you can't keep walking through because there's a parking lot next to it. Is there an opportunity to maybe flip this, right? Where the pocket park is on the north side, becomes a screen to the federal backyard stuff, becomes a place of respite. There's a dog park, and the parking is where it floods because who cares, right?
Yeah.
And then perhaps that pocket park sort of starts to filter across the site to Palmer's, right? And I'm not saying build a park. I'm saying somehow create a walkable connection that people feel safe. A greenway connection that people feel safe walking because there's still cars driving through there. It's a parking lot for the development, right?
Look at, but not that you need to, look at Nantucket. They're right across from. There's a corner. You can look at it. There's a study they're really into right now about the fact that all of the waste is going into the harbor, and there's this whole push that the fact that all of the drain outlets go straight to the harbor, and that was done in the turn of the century. But right on the corner where the White Elephant and the Harbor House is, across the street, they've built this pocket park that is all about trying to help take the rain collection, rainwater, and actually put it into the park. And it's a really cool study that they did, but it actually might help your land versus hinder it.
There is going to be a Coltech system in
There's a whole
the parking
drainage
lot,
system in the parking lot.
and there will be.
What is in the parking lot? It's in the actual plans they choose in the.
We spent all this time in all these buildings collecting rainwater for the 50-year storm, and we store it on site, but we never reuse it. It's the craziest thing. It's like we collect it and let it go into the ground, and it's just the craziest thing. And it's throughout the state. I mean, it's kind of a crazy thing. You say, well, why wouldn't we save that? That's the best water you could have. Anyway, but the thought, I hear your point about moving it to the back,
what we were thinking at the time was, there's no green necessarily on Heights Road. So we were trying to create some green, you know, from, if you're looking at it from, you know, the other side of the street, and you see some green, it actually might break it up a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's not, you know, it doesn't preclude you from putting a couple of trees along Heights Road. I'm just saying, as a pedestrian or as somebody who's in the neighborhood, you know, if you create a place that's more of a destination, that's interesting and safe, and connects me to another development, and it's closer, and it does double duty, it screens things.
There is a walkway, it's not shown on here, that the civil engineer put on the plan. Matt, I don't think you picked it up, but it connects to the lower level of Palmer's, right to the
Yeah, I'd like to
post
see
office.
that flushed out, John, because back there, there's a staircase that goes along Trumbull in the in the post office.
Right.
And should hopefully carry through that back parking lot.
That's what it's,
Yeah,
in fact, we
should
have
be a
to, we
nice-
were gonna brick it, you know, the walkway, so that it designates a walkway through.
It should be brick and raised, these walkways should be raised when you go through them in the parking lots.
Like a
There's
speed
bump.
platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, change
Not a speed
material.
bump, but like
Yeah.
a raised
Yeah.
speed.
It's almost essential to slow down traffic. People drive through parking lots.
And I also think there's like some, I'm sure Alvani will talk to you about this, but opportunity to kind of fix some of these areas behind it, like Palmer's is pretty dilapidated, that view is not a great one to see, and the sidewalks are not great. I'm sure you're gonna get tied into fixing up some of the stuff, but like, there is opportunity there to create people wanting to, as you expand into your other connected sites there.
A nice paint job would be good.
Paint job would be good there too. All right, you guys have any other comments? I'm gonna take a vote on a favorable or unfavorable report here, so we're very clear. Any other comments you guys would like to give the Vaqueros, B20 group, Mr. Maslin, Mr. Plopp? All right, all those in favor of favorable report as is? Hands? All those unfavorable report, can I see hands? All right. Yeah, I think you guys are, unfortunately, a revisit of the presentation. And we look forward to seeing you again if you want to come. If you don't want to come, then we'll submit an unfavorable report to planning and zoning and go from there. Okay? I will type out my notes, I'll put them in the system.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next on our agenda item, that's our last piece of, oops, let me place this down here. That is our last application for the evening. For discussion, real quickly, do you have the 2026 board meeting calendar? You don't have that? That's fine, that's okay. Okay, I'm sure that everyone.
There's just a few items on the agenda.
Yeah, I know, that's okay,
I didn't get
that's
that.
okay. I'm not gonna open up any other business since it's so late, it's, oh my gosh, it is 10:08, oh my, look, I'm gonna have a hard time. Minutes approval from July, I read them all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Great, okay, so minutes are approved, Hervé, if I need to sign those, you can, do you have minutes for me to sign or anything?
No.
No, it's okay, I can
Maybe
come back.
in,
Okay.
try again, take a second.
It is 10:09
Make sure you get them.
PM, I am going to adjourn this meeting, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Channel 79, thank you, I'm so sorry, man.